I was always enthralled by rock and roll. Like just always, there was something about it, that was intrigued me. Even before I ever played an instrument. Like I remember I wanted to play guitar, and I'd be with my friends. I was like whatever, fourth grade, or whoever I was with, and anytime I would be with my friends, we'd be riding our bikes down the road. If I heard somebody playing guitar, because somebody, all of a sudden, like you hear it, just like someone's playing guitar right now, like electric guitar from their house, and I would ditch all my friends, like they're going to play, we're just riding around the neighborhood, and we're going to get ready to play baseball or something, and I'd be riding there, and if I heard somebody playing guitar, it happened a few times, even though who it was like I hear a guitar in the distance, I could hear it echoing. It's like that's a real guitar, electric guitar. So I would just I would leave the pack, and I would ride off to hear where I could find that guitar, and I would find it from some house. You could hear some dudes jamming, and you hear it through the windows, and I would like pull my
somebody's
older. I would hide on the side of the house. Seriously, I would sit there and just hide on the side of the house. I did
that too. I swear, you just unlocked a memory of mine. You just unlocked a fucking memory. I've done that too.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Okay. Need to connect your mic and camera. Trying to get John Spurrier onto the podcast here. He's had to... Yo!
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Oh, there I am. Okay, I guess we got it working. Oh shit! Hold on, my fucking phone fell. Hold on. I got this thing I can prop my phone up with, but now it just fell off my phone. Jesus fucker!
All right, catch the viewers up on what you just had to go through there.
Did I just say? Hold on here. This is like so unprofessional. I lost everything. Hold on. My phone broke. Hold on a second here. I gotta refix my phone. Here. Here's a nice shot of my jeans. And I don't mean that in a, hey, you want to see my jeans?
No, but your, what was it? Fabulous vest, or what was it?
What was it?
Dynamite vest. Dynamite
vest. Yeah, the dynamite vest. Hold on here. I'm trying to fix my phone. Give me a second here.
So John was apparently on Netscape 7 on his computer, and we were trying to get him on his laptop, and then we updated Firefox and we updated Chrome, and that didn't work. So no, I don't know.
Give me a second here, man. Maybe we should start over. I don't know, or maybe not.
We're already rolling. Fuck it. Just I'll just cut it out. But this is great.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix this thing that just broke off my phone.
I can just wait. So what broke off?
The stand.
Yeah.
where you prop it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just fell off.
Let's use a book.
So I got to try to put it back on again if I can. Tell you, there's always something, man.
It's always something, brother.
Always something.
It sounds pretty good.
Oh, here we go. I think I might have fixed it. Hold on. Don't fall off now. All right. I mean, it's not like perfect, but shit. All right, let's see if this works at all. I don't know if it's going to.
Yeah.
Can I put it sideways or no? No, I can't. It doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you do vertical. We'll do vertical.
Okay, so now I can't use my stand though. Shit.
You got to do vertical.
Okay. Well, which kind of sucks because my phone is plugged in. So the plug is on the bottom, so I can't stand anything. Dude, what do I gotta use? Like duct tape? I gotta put duct tape on my phone or something to prop it up on my speaker. That's really, yeah, that's perfect.
This is beautiful. This is the essence of John Spurrier right here. This is beautiful.
I'm not paused, am I?
No, you're good. Your layer is way cooler than mine. That's for sure.
Okay, I gotta figure out.
Look at this guy's fucking room. Give us a tour of your room here, real quick. Look at this.
Actually, my room is pretty trashed right now, but I'll give you a quick look. I don't know if you can see that. There's an inactive.
Is that new? The lava lamp? The lava lamp
yeah.
wasn't there when I was in Michigan.
It's not working right now. Record collection. A wolf.
Look at this place, guys. I mean, like, this man is a magical creature. Look at his fucking room.
It's not like, it's not like up to par right now. I haven't had no reason to keep it really nice because it's only me here. So I just kind of make it. It's mostly an unorganized artist's den at this point. I just kind of, everything's all cluttered, but. But
I always feel like your room is like a living organism. I think you need it to.
It is. I'm trying to set this phone up so I can be hands free here, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Might have to just hold it.
Wait. I can do something like, okay, there we go. It's not ideal. It's not what I want. But hey, you can't always get what you want, right?
You can always get what you want. Sometimes you
get what you need, according to the Rolling Stones. Not the magazine, but the band.
Which was first?
That's a good question.
Probably the band.
Probably the band.
Well, actually, no. The idea of Rolling Stone is old. I mean, that's an old blues. Papa was a Rolling Stone. I mean, that was actually later, but yeah, the idea of a Rolling Stone, it's like a rambling man.
Yeah. Speaking of rambling, I think I'm gonna get tuned up.
Gonna get a little tuned up there. Yeah, let me. I've been doing some China export.
Oh, can you say that on TV?
Sure. They don't know what it means.
Watch it, man. I'll stick you. No.
Hey.
Not you. Those weirdos who are watching us, and the government.
Well, they don't. Yeah, they don't. I mean, they forget that we're a gang.
Yeah, you got to be. If you're in a band, it's kind of like being in a gang. So any sorts like that, your guitar and that's your axe, man, and your drums, that's the cannons.
The cannons, yeah.
We got rock and roll warfare, man.
Rock and roll warfare. At war with Satan.
Let's see. Can I turn you up louder? Oh yeah, I can.
Turn it up.
Yeah.
Can you see the background and everything?
Yeah. You know what? I wonder if I should put headphones in.
Doesn't matter. It's got an echo cancel, so I can't. It sounds pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get tuned up real quick too. You just fill the audience in on your Lair there a little bit.
Well, the Lair is a magical, mystical fortress that where I reside and get into creative explorations in music, and I pretty much do everything in here. Actually, I eat my dinner in here. I sleep. It's just a room, but it's it's all about the lighting. It's all about the lighting.
It's
Cool.
It's your fortress, like you said. It's a fortress.
What's that?
It's a fortress.
It's a fortress.
Yeah.
Hey, now we're like the Joe Rogan Experience. There you go.
Smoking weed on the podcast.
That's not weed.
Right.
Oh man.
Well, like the immortal rock and roll Jerry says, we do cocaine like adults.
Well, I got
No, we don't. All we do on the Drunken Birdwatcher podcast is drink. Usually it's White Claw because that's the most mobile when I'm out in the field. But tonight it's Yingling Oktoberfest, which is actually damn good.
Oh,
what do you drink?
October.
It is well, it's November now, but close enough. I mean,
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. See, I'm always a little behind schedule.
Same.
I was born a month late, so what can I say?
Hey, Nick's late.
Nick's late. And if you're wondering what I'm drinking today, is none other than here in Nevada.
Cheers to you, brother.
Right on. Cheers.
Clink it. Bam. Yeah.
Hear the clink sound.
Clink it.
Captain Clink.
Well, yeah. My brother from another mother.
Let's see here. Put in some background music.
Yeah. See, now John is probably the most knowledgeable person I know with rock music, particularly from the 70s, but kind of like 70s, 80s. You're gonna be hard pressed to find someone that knows more about rock and metal from the 70s and 80s than John Spurrier. So he's shown me a lot.
A few things about it.
I mean, I still think of our time. We were, I played drums in a band called Blue Black Hours, which John and another mystical creature named Scott Lyon formed. When did that form? What year? There he is.
Scott Lyon appears out of nowhere.
Are they pointy boots? Are the boots pointy? That's all. The boots.
You know what? I never looked. I mean, they're. I don't know if you can see that or not.
That's about right. That's about
right. Yeah.
That's close enough. You got to sharpen them a little bit, but that's close enough.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Real quick, what year did Blue Black Hours start?
Officially started in what year was that? 2004. 2004 was the official. That was with Jesse Wozniak on drums.
Fuck that guy.
And so we've been at turtle speed ever since.
Yeah.
It's we're just like a slow moving iceberg,
Slowly.
That's just the way it is. It's funny because I'll go through posts from years ago and like 10 years ago, and I'll be all like frantic of like, we got to get this song, these records out, time's ticking and all this stuff, and it's never going to happen. And then all of a sudden 10 years goes by, and I'm like, oh shit, we actually got 2 records. And I'm like, all right. And I still feel the same way now as I did then, which is weird, It's kind of strange.
That is funny. I get that in my own job right now. Like me and my boss / creative collaborator, mad genius that I work with. It's like, we're like, we got to get this video out, like, this morning at 8 a.m.,
Yeah.
It's like, in the grand scheme of shit, like, why does it matter? But there's something to it. I mean, there's, timing is important. And it's like, when you're releasing, like, okay, this is kind of crazy. I never really thought of this, but like in the past, you had to release a record or a video or something through a studio or through a record label. But now you can release your, art to the public through YouTube or through Facebook. And there is that, like, I can feel that pressure sort of. It's like there's a birth going on when you release your art into the world, and it's like,
yeah,
if you miss that window, sometimes it can be detrimental. We'll sit there and we'll just like he's aware of it and I'm aware of it, and we'll just sit there and like kind of either bask in the glory, like when we hit that slipstream where it's like released just right.
Mm-hmm.
It also depends on the content too, but like it's a timing thing too, where if you miss that window, it's like, fuck, just wait until tomorrow. But
slipstream, yeah, I've been thinking about that word a lot lately.
What was that? I was in Milwaukee with Joe Wisniewski and those guys, and then it was what was that one band? It was a band. It was called like Gravy Donut or something stupid. But like, I literally, like, the only times I ever felt the slipstream were with Ebling Hughes when I was sitting in my car, stoned to the fucking gills, and I literally felt it going from like the center of the realm, like up through my body and up into the sky in like a loop.
Wow.
But then this band, it's called like Wavy Gravy or something stupid like that. But like me and this dude, Patrick, I don't know if you ever met Patrick. He's like a low key psych, and I call him the cosmic dad. He's Joe's best friend, but he's like, we were sitting there. I'm like, do you feel that? They were just like two guys, just like one guy on a guitar, and I think there was a drummer or something, but it was just like they weren't doing anything particularly, musically interesting, but like there was you could feel this like slow moving energy coming off of them, and it moved through our bodies and then back out to them, and we just sat there, and he's like, yeah, I do feel that. We were on a little bit of Molly Ringwald, I think, at the time, but yeah.
Senses were heightened.
Well, a little senses heightened, but.
Yeah.
I mean, is it possible to feel that stuff without senses heightened? That's my question to you, John.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I think so. I think when you do go with the as we used to call it, the microwave and burrito.
Yeah.
It just it makes it taste better. You can hear the music better. It's just like, you hear all the crazy nuances, that your brain might not pick up when you're in a completely sober state.
It doesn't pick it up, and I think it's
kind of weird.
it's like Squirrel State versus 3.5D. It's like,
yeah.
I didn't like. There were two bands that I didn't really get until I got properly stoned enough, and it's the two bands that everybody talks about getting when they get properly stoned is Tool and Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you can ever be stoned enough for Pink Floyd, but Tool was one of those bands where I was like, yeah, I don't get it. It's kind of like want to be deep, whatever. Like I just didn't get the exterior of it,
Yeah.
Which is, of course, a mask they wore to, reach popular appeal. So it was on purpose. But like I just remember being really, really stoned on pot one time, and then it made sense, and I was like, whoa, yeah, these guys are real good. Is Lateralis? That was your entry into
that album. Is something magic about that record, man. I tell you, that was actually, even for myself, it was very hugely influential and like spiritually like awakening record, kind of.
Yeah, it is. It's it's like Dark Side. It's like it's got that alive factor.
It is, yeah. That was their, the one that brought me into them was Inema, however you say it.
Anima,
yeah, whatever it is.
It's a play off of Anima, like a butt enema.
That's what got me into them, but
I think they wanted to call it Anima initially, and then the record label wouldn't let them do it, so they had to make it art. Maynard's a fucking, sophomoric humored shitbag.
Yeah. He's a bit of a trip.
I wonder, did you ever try his wine?
I did. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we played a show for my 40th birthday 10 years ago. And we went back to our place, and actually, no, I wasn't living there at the time. That was right after I moved out. Rock and Roll Jerry's pad, and then I moved into Mo's place right after that. But anyways, we had our my 40th birthday party at Smalls. We played a show, and then we all came back to Jerry's pad afterward to party. And my friend Blue, her name is Blue, was there, and she happened to she's friends with Maynard, and she had some of his wine where he first came out, and she's like, yeah, I got some Maynard's wine, do you want to try it? I'm like, yeah. So I got to have a little taste of the wine. It was good. Shit, Boone's Farm is good enough for me. I can't tell you the difference, Beer's a different story. I can't drink cheap beer. Unless it's something like, hams or something like that. I can drink hams. It's cheap, but it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was good. The wine was good. I liked it. It was a dark wine. So it's probably a lot of blood.
Dark wine.
Yeah, right. I hope there wasn't any blood in there, man. Shit.
This is what me and John do. I don't know what our language is, but we'll it's just like constantly. It's not like we're always trying to think of song ideas and album titles and stuff, but often we'll, like, what was Take Your Face With You? What was it? That was a Outer Limits show.
Take Your Face With You. Wait.
Take Your Face With You. He's got it. He's got the. That's the one, right?
Yeah. Take Your Face With You.
John has a talent of taking the most breathtakingly trippy photographs with a cell phone camera. And you took that one that was at that Outer Limits show. I think it was when Wolves played. We played there. Then I did my little solo show, but like Wolves played afterwards.
Yeah.
and that was a good one. But yeah, then you
took a great show.
That
was like one of the really off the cuff ones that were like, whoa.
Well, how many? Wolves has only had 2 shows, right? We played Timmy's Tacos. We played Outer Limits. Where else? I think that was
that was it. I think that was all we ever did.
We fucked Timmy up. He didn't know. He didn't quite know how to process it.
Yeah.
I think when I threw the tambourine into the crowd before we started, it pissed him off. He's like, only I can throw shit into the crowd. Like, fuck this guy.
Did he say that?
No, I think he thought it, but that's like one of those people. I don't know why. It's just like certain people I have no business fucking with, but like I just immediately do.
Oh, dude, I was actually thinking about that today. I was sweeping underneath tables, and I was actually thinking of like when you were arm wrestling Timmy Vulgar.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just like he's like, but I don't feel like he's my older. I don't know. It's like there's just a weird kinship right off the bat. Like he'll look at me and just laugh, like because certain people I have that with where I just like I right away, you know, I ain't a joke, I'm a clown, you know, but like I'll just cut right through the shit and just do stuff to people that I have no real business doing to them.
Yeah.
And like I remember him saying at one point, he was like, he gave us some food. And I was telling him how like I felt like his record was like I didn't even mean his record was too clean, but it was one of the human.
How about if I kick that taco out of your hand?
How about I kick that plate of food out of your hand? You know?
Dude. I was thinking about that all today, man. I swear. I was actually thinking about I was cracking up.
But then he started laughing too because it was like I don't know. He kind of got. There was that one time we were hanging out at his place. We were listening to Buffalo. And like it was me, you, and Timmy, and we were just getting a little weird. And he started, you know, because he's got that like he's got to uphold that like upperclassman, you know, cool, you know.
Yeah.
But then like at some point it just broke, and then we just started laughing, and then it was good. But
yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good soul, man.
It's like, bitch, you don't think I'm a magical fucking deadly creature? I am too. I think that's my it's a little bit of spite behind it, but at the same time it's just all in good fun, you know.
Can you hear the music in the background?
I don't know. What are you playing?
I don't know. I got this thing. It's called 60s and 70s psychedelic instrumentals. Heavy psychedelic instrumentals from the 60s and 70s. I never heard this channel.
You got a banker hat. What the hell is that?
Oh, this was actually I bought this to play Alice Cooper last year for Halloween. Yeah.
It's a little tall, but you know, it's good.
It's a little bit too much for Cooper though.
It's a little tall for Cooper, yeah.
I got many hats, man. I got like a stack of them right here. Like where are they? There we go. Let's see. I got this blue one I found.
I had the realization the other day. I think every man has, and this is not figurative at all. Every man has many hats, you know.
Yeah, I have a stack of them. Like literally a stack of them.
I have a stack of ball caps, so I guess I'm just a douchebag, but I got ball caps.
Let's see, then I got a black one.
That's cool.
Then I got my other black one. They're all full of dust right now. This is that's the typical one I wear on stage.
That's the blue black hours one. Yeah, that's great.
That's the BBH cap, yep.
That's the BB. That's the Witchfinder General there.
And I got another one. It's like a two-tone brown one.
Yeah.
this deal. Then I got my nice newsboys hat for like, special occasions, weddings or funerals or something. This is a little nice. The one I usually wear, I've had for years, and it's all tore up, but I still wear it. It's all beat up and falling apart, but it's cool. Then I got this thing. What the hell this thing is?
That's called the Gilligan. That's the Gilligan, yeah.
Gilligan's Island. And then I got, the hell's this? Oh, I got another one of these derby ones. It's a felt one.
That one's cool.
So, yeah, I got
Do you ever go out without a hat?
I always go back to this one. This is my favorite one. And I tell you what, man, I can't find it anymore. Like, I bought it. What happened was I just needed to wear a hat because my hair was all fucked up and I was going somewhere and I was going to a show in Hamtramck. And so I went into this party store, bought some beer, and I saw they had these hats. I was like, oh, those are cool. And they were $5. So I bought one. I was going to buy one of those hats. And I've been wearing it ever since. And it's been through like many, many miles, as you can tell. It's just like, beat the hell.
What's the pin on there? What's your pin on there?
What's the pin?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Where is it? Here it is. Let's see if I can get this on camera. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Here.
Oh, baby.
BBH, yeah. I just put it on there. I just put it on the other day.
Wait. So let me tell the people. So that I would say that's the official. I'm a newcomer, but that's the official logo of Blueback Hours there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, see,
for the uninitiated, all right. So Blueback Hours is a very, very good band, and it's an ever-changing sort of thing. But I played drums in it from I think 2012, till 2014, 2 years. But. I had a hand in a few other things, but
2 years, very magical 2 years.
We made an EP called Sunlight and Dust. Check it out. I'll put link in the bio. But yeah, it's I would say one of the things I still go back to as like most proud of being a part of, as far as group creative project. That was I mean, but like we talk about, we could do a whole other podcast just on the events around that, recording that album. I mean, just think about okay, think about how you had all these technical issues leading up to this podcast.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that I think about a lot, is like you have more than most people, because it seems like, your connection with the muse or with, whatever has to happen will happen is like pretty strong, to where like you can't, do stuff until it's exactly, and I have some of that, but I don't know. I'm able to kind of override it in a selfish way, but like, I think you heed that probably better than I do. And like, but yeah, anyway, so like we were trying to record one day and then there was a power outage. I think it was.
Oh man. Yeah.
Power out in the building.
Yeah, I remember that. We got there, we getting all excited, getting ready to set up. Then we set up, we got everything ready to go. And strangely enough, the power goes out.
Yeah.
So we're like, what? I don't know if we blew a fuse or what, but like half the room wasn't working. Like, so we're like, well, maybe there's an outlet that works in this room somewhere. And we found one. There was actually one. So we ended up plugging in everything we had into one outlet.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, well, and by that point, we're just like,
No, but then that blew too, because you had your fucking heater going, so that blew too.
Oh, I think that's why we did, because it was cold as fuck in there too. And we had the heaters going. It was wintertime. And and so we plug in, and we just start jamming. We just started jamming. We're just like, fuck it, let's just have fun. We'll get stoned and just like just whatever. It's like we're not even really gonna be serious right now. We're just gonna, we're just
No,
gonna
wait. Wind back, because the power came back on at a certain, like we were trying to bypass it with that one circuit, and then that kept going out. And then you took that picture like at, dusk, and
down, yeah.
that's when a little shortly after, that's when the power came back on. So, for all you scientists out there, I can't exactly explain it, but it just felt like something was telling us that it wasn't time yet.
It was time. Yeah. And it's the funny thing is, the band is called Blue Black Hours, which is the time between times, which is, sunset and sunrise. And so when the power came back on for us to record, it was right when the sun was going down.
Yeah.
And then we did this jam. We just started jamming. Because then we're like, well, we'll just try something out, because we didn't, we just want to make sure we got everything plugged in. So we just jammed. We just this free-form jam that ended up, and then in the jam, we ended up going into one of our actual songs, like the end of one of our songs.
Yeah.
Magically, just happened. We're like, oh wow, how do we end up in our song? So we just played it, and the strange thing is, when we went in to record that song, we ended up using the actual jam from the end of that song. That it was like we did it like we put it in. So the jam on what song is it? Spiders, right?
No, Spiders.
Spiders, yeah.
I'm pulling it up right now. I think with this is what's cool with this software I'm using. We can pull it up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the actual jam we ended up using. We didn't record when we recorded the song. We didn't record the jam. We just used the one that we did spontaneously that day because it just had the magic. Like it was it. We're like, let's use that. Fuck it. Because I think we actually tried recording it, but we weren't capturing the right vibe. And we just ended up using that jam from before that we did previously, like a week earlier.
Well, that's why I say, like, I love Jesse, but I hated him during that time. Like, put it that way.
You hear that a lot with certain studios.
That's at times why I'm not a very well-liked individual, because I don't really care about sometimes I don't care about interpersonal relationships. I just care about doing what has to be done in that situation. And like, that's what's, being a soldier is all about, right?
Wait, they just lied to us. This is supposed to be psychedelic instrumentals from the 60s and 70s, and I hear singing. What the fuck are they doing to us?
Lying.
Damn it. That's not an instrumental. It's not even that psychedelic. But the band is called Universe.
Oh, shit. We got Eternity on here.
That's interesting. Oh, wow.
Check it out. There's Eternity.
I said the word universe and that happened. That's weird.
All right, can you see that?
Oh, the next band is called Magic. Perfect.
Hold on, turn down.
It's like talks to you. It's like, what the hell is that thing saying?
haven't listened to this in a little while. I'm gonna skip ahead here. All right, so this is the jam coming up here, right? You hear me?
Yep.
All right, so this is the jam coming up.
Right after this part.
So we cut in a different take from that.
You hear the spaceship.
It's Scotty Ryan. He's one of the most soulful guitar players ever.
Dude, you were killing it on the drum, man.
All right, I do remember that.
Man, that song, dude. That song is that's got some mojo, man.
You think?
That song is, to this day, I can still listen to it and enjoy it. You know, where it's like, man, that's a good song. Like as an outsider, almost like, it's funny, like almost like listening to it. It's like, you know, it's like.
Did we make that? Yeah, it's like that was us.
Exactly. Did that actually, like, how did that really happen? You know, it's like we were there, but were we just observing it? You know, kind of like almost like a dream. Like, wow, I had this crazy dream. You know, and like looking back now, it's just like I think about it. I'm like how did that happen? You know, like it comes from nowhere. You know, I just love it. Like all the little things that make it happen. You know, the riffs that happen to begin with, and it's always exciting to hear something. It's like, what is this going to turn into? You know, it's like that's the magic of music writing. It's just like starting from nothing. You know, being creative. You know, it's just starting from nothing and creating this thing that exists. It's magic. Yeah. It's pure magic. You know, it's like.
Well, I'll say like no homo, but you and I have probably the most creative magic I've ever had with another person. And like, we would kind of come up with the so-called demos of the songs or whatever. And then, Scott, and no disrespect to Scott Lyon, because he is one of the best, most soulful guitar players I've ever heard. I mean, he's
got a unique sound. He's like one of those.
He just throws. He throws. He's a Gilmore. He's a Gilmore, but he's more experimental. Like because he reads the energy of the room. Yeah. And that's where Scott was like, I'm a pretty clever mammal, and he was a little bit shook by that, and it was like, I saw what he was doing, and it was great. I like all forms of life. I'm a bird watcher.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's where I'm like, it's no worries, it's all good, and that's where creativity is great, because like all different kind of people can come together and make stuff, but I got lost there, but yeah, it was good. It was, it was
it was a magical time, man, without a doubt. Like that was, I would say, I've had a lot of magical times, and I mean, there's so many of them. I wouldn't know where to begin, man. I used to write them down. I used to write everything that was like magical down at one point. Like, I couldn't believe this happened. Wow, keep a journal of it, and it happened so much that I stopped doing it. I stopped writing it down. I'm like, I can't keep up with it. It's just like I just let it surprise me. I'm like, all right, now what's next?
I mean, I'll say from experience, like I've seen like your phone start texting itself out of nowhere. I've seen, I mean, you have the most, particularly with technology, just the most nuanced relationship with the world, I think, that I've ever seen. I mean, I remember the first time we hung out, I thought you were fucking with me because we were at the Blowout in Hamtramck.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I thought that, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, we got into some kind of a weird portal, and then we saw that Hordes band, and then, I don't know. But that was like the only time they were good. We saw Hordes like the one time, like as far as I've ever seen, when it was just like they were the best doom metal band ever.
Yeah,
we stumbled into it.
I think they ended up getting a new drummer. I'm pretty sure they ended up with a new drummer.
Oh, dude, it was that one. No, it was that one guy that was bald, but he had the like Buddhist braid in the back. Yeah. That guy was one of the sickest drummers I've ever seen. I don't know who that guy was, but that guy was fucking awesome.
I don't think he's in the band anymore. I think that's what might have made the difference with that one.
No, he was like, he would like sit there and like crack, like hit the snare like that. Like that guy was fucking badass.
Yeah, he was onto it, man. Well, that's funny, talking about magic, and the band that's playing on YouTube right now is a band called Magic. Figure. See, that's what I'm talking about. Those kind of things happen a lot. Sometimes daily and several times a day, but I take it as a good sign.
You're a good cat. You're the best. You're the best wearer I know.
The best what?
You're the best friend I know.
Oh, likewise.
That concept of best friend. It's like a weird thing, but I would say, yeah. I mean, you know, you're about as close as I got to a best friend.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah.
All my best friends turned on me though in the past. You know, it's like it's almost like it's like marriage. You don't want to like curse it, you know, but
Yeah,
best friend, worst enemy. That's a good topic for a podcast right there. Like the closeness between best friend and worst enemy. Yeah. I think you know if you think about that with Scott Lyon.
What's that? Right. Yeah, well, he had a bad run-in with things for a while, hard times. So I kind of cut him some slack. Yeah.
Yeah, but what did he say to you? What did he say to you that one time? You may not want to publicize this, but
shoot, I don't know. He said some interesting things at one point, but he was under a different spirit, I think. He really was.
Yeah.
It was seriously like he went from, well, I don't know if we, let's just put it this way. He had an interesting time, and he's came through it really good, which is awesome, and because he was in the danger zone and I was concerned about him. So I was just hoping that, hey man, you got to be careful. That's all, So yeah, he's good now though. He's doing great actually. Probably, the way he's always, the Scott Lyon I knew is more like the way he is nowadays.
Yeah.
When you saw him, you saw a totally different realm of him in the beginning. Yeah, he was
wildly shape-shifting when I knew him.
Yeah.
He was in a state of volatility.
Yeah,
but I can tell he's got a good heart. That's why I like the guy. He's got a great heart.
Yeah, I feel like his soul was in danger at some point, but he pulled out of it great.
Maybe that's who I talked to at that. Maybe that's who I talked to at Trixie's. Maybe it wasn't Scott. I don't know. Because I swear, this show is about zoology. What is going on here? What is this?
Oh, I forgot we're on a show.
Oh yeah.
I thought we were just talking. Well, I guess that's what it is, right?
The show's really. If I had to put a category. No, it's about studying different species of animals is what this is about. And under intoxication. That's the mission statement of this channel. But I swear to God, we were at I think it was Trixie's. What was it called? Jump. It was either Jump. Yeah. Trixie's. Okay, I've also had another interesting experience at Trixie's where I blacked out. I think it was Trixie's. Anyway, so yeah, it's cool shit. Life's weird.
Yeah, this is the first podcast. Let's see what's okay. Like we didn't have any real topics. We're just kind of off the cuff.
Oh, we want to talk about ghosts.
You know what? You know what's funny? This podcast is like how that song we were talking about happened, because I couldn't get my phone to work. We couldn't get this to happen, and we're like, well, fuck it, we'll just turn it on, and just to see if everything's recording all right, and then maybe we'll go into something, maybe not. We just ended up going into it. It's like, hey, it's working, cool, let's jam.
I had a feeling it was going to happen tonight.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
I mean, why do you think sometimes at movies, like think about like movie studios and record labels, sometimes things take years to, they have all the resources in the world and it still takes years. Why, why is it?
Like Tool, the band Tool,
Exactly.
They have all the resources and they come out with an album how many years apart. It's like, which is fine. Hey, they're in no hurry, I guess. So, but it's just kind of like, wow, if I had all those resources, there'd be at least an album every, well, like they have it, shit, at least a record a year. At least maybe every 2 years.
You said that, and I was thinking about that earlier. You said it a little while ago during the COVID lockdown, and you were on unemployment, but you were like, I'm still as creative as I would be if, like, because you were left to your devices to be able to make whatever you wanted, and you were like, I'm still about as creative as I would be as if I had a day job. I think it was the gist of what you said.
Well, I was doing a lot. Yeah, I was, because I wasn't working. I got into doing music a lot more than I had ever. And the good thing about it is that actually put me out of habit, because before that, I wasn't working on music a whole lot. It was kind of like, for a long time, just kind of, nights that I could work on music, I didn't, and I'd feel guilty, like, man, I need to get back into writing again and stuff. And then the whole lockdown thing happened. So then I had nothing else to do but like, all right, I'm just going to start working on music. And so I did a lot, and that got me on the habit of getting back into that. And ever since then, and I started working full time again. Now, granted, I don't work on it as much as I did during the lockdown, but it got me onto a habit where I'm working on music, for sure, 2 days a week, at least every 2 to 3 days a week. So I'm like,
well, I think you hit like a dry spell, and then you were just like,
yeah, it made me be creative. Yeah, it kind of forced me into, well, what can I do? It's like the band's not here. Scott moved to Boston, and Ken fell off a ladder and shattered his arm and his leg. So it's like, shit, we're in lockdown. We can't play shows anyways, but what can you do? It's like, so I'm like, well, I got a laptop here and I can do some recording. And who inspired me for that was Troy Gregory. When he came out with his album, what was the name of that record? His last record. It's like it's a brilliant masterpiece. It's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, it is.
And I've always been a fan of his music. I've liked what he did, before.
Troy's one of the unsung geniuses of, he's up there with Chuck Hughes or Bob.
Yep. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, he's in that echelon of the other side.
That was one of those people. Like I just walked up to him after seeing the Super Birthday, and I was just like, I just want to suck your dick, and he was like, how about some pineapple first or something? I was just like, I don't even know what that means, but I was just like, you're a fucking genius. Like I just wanted to keep saying it because like there were so many fucking phony shitbags in the Detroit scene. And I was just like, Troy, you're a fucking genius. I love you, man. You're a genius. And like all these people are coming around. I'm like, yeah, he's a genius. Like, hey, this guy's great. It's fucking real deal right here. Even he was like annoyed by me, but I didn't care. But it was just like that guy's wow, he's great.
Yeah, he's great. I would go over his house because we were doing some weed stuff, and so I go over his house, and I was like, hey, what you been doing with music? He's like, I work on some stuff, and so we're going to. He's like, yeah, you want to come on in, check it out? I'm like, yeah, right. So pulls up his laptop, and he starts playing his music, and I'm sitting there thinking like, holy shit. Like I'm like, all right,
album,
like this is like, and I told him, and I said, hey man, I go, anything I've ever heard you do, I go, this is the best thing I've ever heard you do.
Well, here's the thing, he was the songwriter for they're a pretty big deal, is the Witches, Detroit band.
The Witches, yeah.
He embraced his nerd prog side. And then just went off on a whole other direction once he did that. But I think honestly, Blue Black Hours had something to do with that.
I mean, it could. I mean, because when we would get together, we would always nerd out on like I'd go over there and hang out, and we just have a few beers and whatnot, and we would just go into the rabbit holes of all like early Genesis and Rush and King Crimson and all that kind of stuff, and he knew a lot about he knows a lot about prog. Like when you say I know a lot about different stuff, that kind of music, he's actually like goes even deeper into the realm, and so I like to learn a lot from him too. And so when he played me that record, I'm thinking like, I go, where'd you record this? He's like, oh, I just did it here on my laptop using GarageBand. And I was shocked. I'm like, thinking like, you could do that in GarageBand? And I'm like, shit. So I was like, if that can be done in GarageBand. This is
also a guy that tried out for Metallica. So like he has some recording skills. Like,
yeah. He tried out for Metallica right after Cliff Burton died, yeah. But he didn't drink beer at the time. He ordered milk or something, chocolate milk, and they kind of laughed at him. Kind of like, well, all right. But he was too punk rock for them back then.
It's like when Les Claypool tried out for him, and he said, "Let's just play some Curtis Mayfield," and they're like, "Yeah, we love you, but it just ain't gonna work." He's like, "I know."
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Troy, Timmy, you. I wouldn't. You wouldn't put yourself in that same category, but I'm a little bit from an outside perspective, and like, yeah. Timmy's great. Timmy's cool.
Oh yeah.
His latest album's a little clean, but it's all right.
Oh, don't tell him that. Oh, that's when he's going to kick the taco out of your hand.
You kick the taco out. How about I kick that plate of food out of your fucking hand? How about that? He was way stronger than me. I could never beat him at fucking arm wrestling. But one time, I probably spared myself an ass beating, or I don't know. I was maybe angry enough to just go retard strength on him, where he beat me in an arm wrestle, and I was just like, I resisted it though, because I would think back on like times when I go retard strength and it doesn't go well, and I was just like, I wanted to fight him. I was just like, in my head, I'm like, let's just go outside, let's just fight, and just see what happens, I mean, and he would have probably fucked me up. At that time, I had no clue how to fight, so I probably I would have just gotten knocked out. Maybe this is leading up to some sort of sparring match between me and Timmy. I don't know, because I'm a little more trained now, but
yeah, he's a pretty built dude. Like I would say, like.
Oh, he's got that gorilla strength. Yeah, he's strong as fuck. When I would arm wrestle with him, it was like,
if he hit the gym, like he would have like those bodybuilder genetics where he would just get like, like if I put Timmy through my program, he would be a monster. Like he would be,
Well, it's like Rock and Roll Jerry. Like they don't have to. It's like Rock and Roll Jerry doesn't have to work out. He's just got that,
Yeah, Jerry's always been muscular and in shape. He's got those genetics.
Just that it pisses me off. It's just like, how do these guys, it's like Iggy Pop, you shoot smack for 40 years and you've got never ending 10-pack. Like it doesn't make sense, but I don't know. Some about shooting smack, like not that Jerry did that, but like there was like, I used to say that, and then some comedian said that recently on like a podcast. He's like, what is it about, or no, Bill Burr said that. He's like, what is it about shooting heroin in your 20s that just gives you like a, never ending ripped, it's like,
I don't know, because it doesn't speed you up. It's not like meth will like and cocaine will keep you lean. Probably because they don't eat.
I'm fairly skinny, but like this is, my body looks like a fucking jack-o'-lantern. Like they just got that like muscle, that lean muscle definition that I don't know. I don't know what it is, but
just
it's the true rock and roll animal, I guess.
What's that?
It's the true rock and roll animal that Jerry is, or that Iggy Pop is, or
Yeah. I don't quite have that. It's funny, when I was younger, I used to think like, because back in the day, it was like rock stars looked like, they looked all lean and sleek and, kind of muscular, like Hendrix, all those guys looked like, they were like pretty toned and fit,
Yeah.
And, the rock star image was to be, you had to be toned and fit. You had to look, like a, unless you're a Meatloaf, that's a different story then. Or Leslie West, from Mountain. That was the thing. It's like if you were
or Joe Cocker,
if you were too fat, the record industry back in the day would say like, we would sign your band, but your singer's too fat. That's what they would tell bands back in the day. So record companies weren't always, the greatest thing in the world. So it's like once you sign that over to them, they can tell you what to do.
Well,
like the Doors, the record company for the Doors, I don't remember which one it was at the time, was going to get rid of the Doors band. Told Jim, after they got signed to the label, they said, "Hey, Jim, we're going to, how about we get rid of these guys and we get you a different, band?" And he said, "No," he goes, "This is the band. If you don't like it, we're not going to play," which was the greatest thing ever because the Doors are great. And, it's like, record label, they were evil as fuck, man. I think that's what it is, man. You sign your soul to the devil is like basically signing that, over to the record label. You sign your rights away to your creative art to someone else. Like the Beatles don't even own their, music anymore. How fucking sick is that? Yeah, it's like, it doesn't make any sense. Like someone owns your soul. It's like,
well, I mean, it's interesting that their record label was called Apple, right? And I mean, that was one thing. My dad said that to me, and my dad is a low key, a terrifyingly astute analyst of my life, and he said, "What do you see on the back of the computer? With the Apple logo?" I said, "I don't know. It's an apple." He goes, "There's a bite out of it, right?"
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the original Apple record label, there wasn't. Think about it.
That's interesting.
So somewhere between the Beatles and Steve Wozniak, there was a bite out of the apple, but I don't know. I mean, who knows when the bite happened? But
right. That's funny you say that because today I found an apple on the ground. I never find apples. I never do. I was at school and there was an apple on the ground, and I contemplated.
Apple. That's a good one.
I contemplated like, should I throw it away or should I put it back on the desk? Because it was laying on the ground, and I'm like, and I thought, like, what if I put it on the desk? I felt bad for the apple. I was like, man, this apple's here, and it's not going to get a chance to fulfill its destiny. So I was like, what do I do with this apple? And I said, well, what if I put it on the desk, but like the person thinks it's already clean? Like, oh, I cleaned that yesterday. I'm going to take a bite out of it. All the while not knowing that it was sitting on the dirty floor all night long. So I thought, well, you know what? I don't want that to happen to them. I guess what I should have did was I should have put the apple back in the desk and put a sticky note on it and said, I found your apple on the ground, but didn't want to throw it away in case you might want it. You might want to wash it. But I didn't go through that much trouble. Now I'm thinking.
Wait. Garth. That was a haiku.
What? What?
Remember in Wayne's World where he's like, we're looking down on Wayne's basement, only that's not Wayne's basement. Isn't that weird? And then Wayne goes, Garth, that was a haiku.
Oh.
The note
I forgot.
the note you said to the person sounded like a haiku. I don't know, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, it kind of does. I forgot what a haiku. I know what it is, but I remember I liked them.
It's like a limerick. There's a certain structure to it, but yeah. I just can't stop. I can't stop stressing how good Wayne's World is. Like that's one thing that
I gotta watch it again. Years.
Dude, you've got the meeting of.
That is kind of a good thing. That is a good one.
It's. I always say it's my favorite movie. I mean, I say it kind of as a joke, but also it may actually be my favorite movie because Mike Myers, you know, he's got a weird path, but like, well, you put Mike Myers and Dana Carvey together. Dana Carvey, we could do a whole other podcast on Dana Carvey as far as how fucking talented that he's like Jim Brewer. It's like low key, like the funniest person alive, but just didn't jive with the whole, the whole system.
Yeah.
I mean, they operated on the wrong side of Dana Carvey's heart by accident.
What?
Yeah, did you hear about that one?
No. Hold on.
He had a heart surgery and they accidentally operated on the wrong side of his heart.
Oh shit. Did he survive?
Yeah.
Oh, he survived?
Mm-hmm.
See, how does that fucking shit happen? It's like, that's a pretty major fuck up, I mean,
It's
I can
kind
see
of
like,
major fuck up.
You didn't change the mop water. You didn't change the mop water, in the bucket at your custodial job. But like,
right.
we operate on the wrong side of the heart. So, that's kind of a major fuck up there.
Yeah.
I got my new, I decided to get my other chair out here. This chair. The castle. This is the castle chair.
That's
You
cool.
can see it. Yeah.
Is that the one that's in your shrine over there?
Yeah. They're not very comfortable to sit in. They're good for decoration. Actually, it's not too bad right now. I was driving home one day. And I was listening to who was I listening to? Who was it? There was two things I found actually. There was this chair. We're driving down, and there was two of them. Someone were throwing them out, and I couldn't believe someone would be actually throwing away these like handcrafted, cool wooden castle chairs. So, me being me, I'm thinking like, I need to go grab those. So I grabbed the two chairs that they were throwing in the garbage that looked like this, that were these. And this was just kind of a random. I wasn't going to go drive down this road that night, and I did, and I found these chairs. And then there was another one. It might have been the same night. I don't know. I was driving, and I was listening to one of Blue Black Hour songs, and where a lyric is in song "Blows Your Mind," where it's the lyric is "Angels Watching Over."
Mm-hmm. That's my favorite part of the song.
Over. Yeah, and I'm driving down the road again. I don't know if it was the same night or not. I don't think it was the same night. It was a different night. But I'm listening to that song, and as I'm listening to that song, driving down the road, and that line, "Angels Watching Over," I looked over to my left as I'm driving by, and I saw this, which was a statue. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Of an angel watching over two children. Well, there's a wolf there now because one of the kids broke off. But Um, yeah. So happened to angels watching over, and I look over, and there was this statue with the angels watching over these kids. Someone was throwing out the garbage. Strange. Most of the things I found in this room, actually, Spurzo's Lair is kind of a collection. It's kind of a garbage heap, really. It's things I just found. A lot of it, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't really buy anything.
It's like a psychedelic garage sale.
It pretty much is, yeah. Yeah, everything
But
is.
it's not for sale.
It's not for sale. No, not at all. Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about the idea of like trash versus treasure, right? I mean, it's not something that I need explained, but maybe the people at home do. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I found a whole stereo system that, someone was throwing away. Like worked perfectly. There's nothing wrong with it. It's loud. It goes to 11. It's the Spinal Tap version. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called the.
I can see now, like watching myself and like what people say about me. I'm like a sexy creep. I look like a fucking creep though. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with my neck here. I got things going on with my neck. I realized that like I was on mushrooms the other day and I realized that my whole like spinal cord my skeleton is off. Like, I mean, look, do you ever look at your face in a video camera and you realize like look at how.
Oh yeah, my face is all fucked up, man.
Like one side is different. I mean, it's not symmetrical. You got that too. Like your left side. Wait, my left side is like taller, and that's what like with my hip too. My right leg is a little bit shorter, some with my hip, and that fucks my whole spinal structure up.
Yep.
It's two different, it's like two different. But look at even like right now, look at how the light is on one side and the dark is on the other side. Like it doesn't matter where I turn. It's like, the right side is usually dark, and like, my eyebrows higher, my ears, like when I wear sunglasses, my right ear is lower than my left,
It's funny. It's all the things that nobody else even notices, which is really interesting,
This is the only shit I care about. It's what kept me out of the good school.
Oh, yeah. I have a very not symmetrical face. I have one side, I have a crooked smile. I noticed that.
Yeah. So do I. Look at how crooked that.
Yeah.
I did have fangs though. I had to get them filed down because I used to bite my mouth so much.
Yeah, me too. Fangs.
You got crazy motherfuckers. You got them canines.
Those wolf fangs, yeah.
That's structure.
Too, because biting a lip sucks, but then I accepted it. I was like, I don't have money to spend to do this. I don't have insurance, and then somebody told me I think it was a girl. There was a girl that said, like, why would you want to follow those down? Those are cool. And I was like,
yeah. It was a guy.
And then that was right the time when I knew that I discovered myself wolf. All that happened around the same time, which is really wild. So I was like, well, I guess I,
Are you an actual werewolf?
Not an actual werewolf. I mean, but there's something going on there. I don't know what, but there's like maybe I come from a wolf colony pack somewhere in space, in a different planet or something. So there's aliens here, and maybe there are wolf people. There's some sort of wolf people. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you got reptiles. And could be wolf people too. I wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
You're like my cousin. You're one of the kindest reptiles. Yeah. I like you.
I mean, I'm definitely not a reptile. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm an arthropod. That's what I kind of realized. I was trying to figure out what my spirit animal was, and the only thing that finally made sense is I'm an octopus. And a crow. There's crow in there too, and well, I mean, there's multiple, but
yeah, buffalo, right?
no, I'm not a buffalo.
Yeah, you would never get a tattoo of a buffalo.
I would never do that. Actually, it's a tattoo. Look at what this guy did. It's a tattoo of a woman. You see the face?
Okay.
Kind of like an alien face. All right, so it never made sense to me how he rendered.
Okay.
Yeah, you see it?
Yeah, I totally see it now, yeah.
You see the face?
Intentional?
I think it was, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And there's actually look, I'm gonna publish this because I look at it all the time. There's another one. If you look,
really,
there, you see that?
It's hard for me to make out a little bit.
Eyes and mouth. It's got like a horn. There's another face that way. Like here's the neck.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there's actually that one's clear. I mean,
that's clear as day.
That one's clear as day. Yeah, that guy's a fucking genius. Whoever did that, yeah.
That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah.
What do I got playing in the background now? In the Court of the Crimson King.
Yeah.
This is crazy fucking shit. It's a cover.
Wait, what?
It's a really good cover. It's like super spaced out. It's In the Court of the Crimson King. It's a cover by Michael Quattro, whoever that is, featuring Ted Nugent, 1972. What?
Hey, Nugent didn't know anything. Nugent was just a Boy Scout.
I mean, here he is playing this, and then he was in
Amboy Dukes.
It's like,
he's just a Boy Scout. Nothing to see there.
He was good back in the day, man. Like, people talk shit about Nugent now, but he was great. He
was great.
The Amboy Duke stuff was fantastic.
I think he's still great.
Oh, he's still great. Yeah. He was in a different mindset back then too. That's for sure.
Well, here's the thing. All right, so I was trying to figure this one out. Do you think that he's never? I mean, like, do you really think he never did anything?
I've heard reports that he did, and has. Like, I don't know how true. Like, there was a bartender tell me sometime they waited on Ted Nugent came in, and he ordered. Yeah, I think he had a beer. So I don't know if he never drinks.
Well, it's actually I was talking to Matt Palazzola about like Alice Cooper. He didn't realize that. Well, yeah, Alice was severely down the crack road, the coke and crack. And he just says he was a drinker. He was just a drinker. He's just a drinker. I'm like, no. New data has surfaced, and whatever. It's really whoever's business that's why my point is, if let's say Nugent did XYZ, he just didn't talk about it, and it's like, that's actually the smartest way to be. Just don't emphasize it.
Yeah, he just just didn't just leave your mind wander, I guess. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Like,
Right.
got some really cool bands happening here. Shit.
See, now it's 4 a.m. and I'm running out of steam here. This is usually our conversations where it's 4.
Right.
I start. You're just getting started, but yeah, I get 4 is kind of.
Probably wrap it up at. As far as I go to bed, about 7. 7 o'clock in the morning is my go-to every night. Sometimes 8. All depends. Even on work nights now, that's my new schedule. It's like every day is like a work day or a weekend for the most part.
Yeah.
Going for work, and I come home and I get to stay up just as late as as I want to. But I miss the day. That's fine. There's nothing to do in the daytime, really. It's like, what am I really going to do in the daytime? Everyone's working. So.
It's a dry time.
It really is. I've never been a day person, ever.
Me neither.
Yeah, always a night person.
And that's what I'll say with you is that you've always held to that, and it's there's something to be said about that. Like you never gave in, John. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess just by sticking it out, just kind of weird, Like I thought about it, like, well, I got this job that I work, the afternoon shift to the job that I actually like. It's not bad. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I get to listen to music the whole time, which is great. Matter of fact, this is what I love to do. I got my speaker going, right? And sometimes there's kids in the building because they're there for events going on later. And, or there's people there that are some maybe teachers hanging out late or doing whatever. And I'm going down the hallway playing Iron Maiden, Minor Threat. Anything,
Oh, Minor Threat? You going punk on me now?
Yeah. I'll play that. I'll play, I can go from Minor Threat to, what's her name? Dinah Summer, or the Bee Gees,
Go disco on them, yeah. Fuck them.
Yeah. But but it's funny. Today there was kids running around the hallway, and and they were, I don't know, they were just there. It was after school, and they were there for something, and they were just walking around the hallways, and so I'm going down the hallway, and I got Iron Maiden, the Trooper, jamming. And I'm on my mind. I'm doing, I'm just jamming, but I'm also doing it on purpose. All right, I want to make sure these kids hear this. Yeah. It's they heard anything like that. I'll be playing Black Sabbath. I mean, whatever. And these kids are like, all right, who's that guy? Who's that guy? And he's got that. He's playing this. What is that? They're hearing it.
Yeah.
They're probably like, that's it's gonna be one of those memories that'll stick in their head. Hey man, do you remember that one time when we were younger and we were walking around the school and there was that janitor and he would play all this music, and we didn't know what it was back then, and it turned out it was Iron Maiden, I always think, yeah, that's my contribution right there. So I'm teaching at school, I guess, in some way. No kid ever asked about it. They're probably too afraid to. Yeah.
Well, it's like someone impressed you with that image, and you've But okay, so whoever impressed you with that image, do you think that they were intentionally doing it, or did you take it that way? That's a big question.
That's a good question. It's hard to say because I was like I was always enthralled by rock and roll. Like just always, there was something about it, that was intrigued me. Even before I ever played an instrument. Like I remember I wanted to play guitar, and I'd be with my friends. I was like whatever, fourth grade, or whoever I was with, and anytime I would be with my friends, we'd be riding our bikes down the road. If I heard somebody playing guitar, because somebody, all of a sudden, like you hear it, just like someone's playing guitar right now, like electric guitar from their house. And I would ditch all my friends, like, they're going to play, we're just riding around the, neighborhood, and we're going to get ready to play baseball or something. And I'd be riding there. And if I heard somebody playing guitar, it happened a few times, even know who it was like, I hear a guitar in the distance. I could hear it echoing. It's like, that's a real guitar, electric guitar. So I would just, I would leave the pack, and I would ride off to hear where I could find that guitar. And I would find it from some house. You could hear some dudes jamming, and you hear it through the windows. And I would like pull my
somebody's
older. I would hide on the side of the house. Seriously, I would sit there and just hide on the side of the house. I did that
too. I swear, you just unlocked a memory of mine. You just unlocked a fucking memory. I've done that too.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
I've done that too. As a little kid, I think I did that. I was like sat next to the, what do they call it? The glass block window, and just tried to figure out what the hell was going on. What's going on down there? What are they doing down there?
Yeah. It's magical, man.
It was like the first time I heard Ballad of Dwight Fry. I heard it in the car with my dad, and I was like, "What? Wait!" It was I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I gotta. And I was like, "Wait, what is it?" Because it's usually like REO Speedwagon on the radio, so it was like the rare occasion where they played Cooper, and not School's Out.
Right.
I was like, what is that? What was that?
What age were you at the time?
I was proud. I don't know. Single digits. I don't know. I was young. I was a young kid, but it was like there's two things that impressed on me as a kid. It was Alice Cooper and Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah. And that's
soundtrack?
The show Twin Peaks, I saw it as a kid. I saw it was on the Bravo channel, which was like at the time, it was like there was like IFC, there was like HBO, but it was like when the Splinter channels started in cable. But it was.
Oh yeah.
There's a point in Twin Peaks where Laura Palmer is her evil doppelganger in the Black Lodge, alternate dimension. And it's like when you're like 9 years old and you stumble across that on television.
That's heavy.
It's just like,
yeah.
What was that? But it was like completely fascinating, and still to this day is my favorite like TV show. And Alice Cooper's probably, he's definitely, he's the best. I mean, let's be honest. Cooper's the fucking best. So it's like the two, David Lynch is probably the best modern filmmaker, and, Alice has influenced more musicians than probably anybody else. And just with that, like that raw, it's like, but it's not like black magic in a sense where it's harmful. It's like, it's black magic, but it's aesthetic black magic. It's like, it could be for kids. It could be for, it could be for anybody. You know, it's rated for anybody. It's an energy. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got mojo, man. I was impressed when I saw him this summer. You know, that was amazing.
It seems to be still, he's still going strong. You know, he's playing golf.
Kicks ass, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like 72 years old, and I mean, like, rocking harder than I've ever seen. You know, most people. You know, that are like 30 years younger. So,
yeah.
I imagine it's got to be tough. I mean, with Cooper, like, he hasn't lost it at all. Like, he's got this. He's maintained. You know, he still has it. You know, he's great.
What'd you say? You said one time we were all fucked up. You said Alice Cooper was a witch that he like channeled, or it was like a story about a woman named Alice Cooper, and that was the.
Yep, that's the story. That's how he came up with the name. And you know, so at the time he was saying that he would, you know, embody this spirit take over, you know, who's Alice Cooper, this witch, and then that's who he become. So, you know, he still did. That's his thing. You know, he plays a character, you know, or the character plays through him. Who knows? You know, it's great theater though. I mean, it's a fantastic theater, artistic theater, and
that's it.
How he got away with it, you know, it's like that's pretty dark shit, man. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole, like, you know, guillotine and, you know, the dead baby, all this weird shit. It's like, you know, he got away with it, you know. He was nuts, you know. I don't know. Maybe he is one of the Hollywood vampires, though. So
he is.
Kind of makes you wonder how he got through it this long. No, I don't know. It's hard to say. There's something going on. He's everyone respects him. Like, that's the thing with Alice Cooper. I don't know if anybody doesn't like Alice Cooper. I never heard anybody say, like, Cooper sucked. I've never heard anybody say that. Everyone's like, it's kind of like Dio. It's like the same thing. It's like it's fucking great. You know? Like,
well,
I've never heard him down.
Johnny Depp's one of the Hollywood vampires, and he ain't looking so good these days. So I don't know.
Oh no.
Is he still alive? Is Johnny Depp still alive?
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Oh yeah, he's still kicking.
He's still kicking, all right.
As far as we know, you know.
As far as we know.
Or they have a clone of him, one or two. You never can tell these days.
Never can tell.
Yeah.
Well, just to kind of wrap it up, but I can go a little further, but to get topical, I don't know if you saw that whole thing with like the Travis Scott situation, and it's like, you know,
God, the rap.
Yeah.
God, you know, his name just doesn't fit. Travis Scott. I was like, what is this, a country show? Like, I thought it was like, country performer. It's such a country, like, you know. Oh, we're going to see
Travis. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Travis, country, new modern country sounding name.
Here's what bothers me about Travis Scott. He pisses me off because he's a musical genius. You know, his stuff is actually his stuff is actually pretty good. I don't think you would like it, but it's actually it's pretty damn good. But
probably, yeah. I'd be like, okay, I can see what he's got going there.
Okay, now here's what I want to ask. Here's what I want to ask you. All right.
Okay.
The Great White Incident.
What's that?
The band Great White.
Oh yeah. The Great White. Yeah.
Did
that was fucked up, man.
Did that happen around maybe around the same time of year?
This time of year? That's a good question, man. I don't know. That's a good question. I'd like to find that out. I guess you could Google it. Yeah, when was that? That's a good question, man. Huh.
But it made me think of that, and I'm thinking I've been in situations like that where it could go any number of ways. But
keep talking. I'm gonna grab a beer.
In this case, it turned into some kind of a pandemonium, and apparently people actually died in it. But
yeah, it's a weird thing, man. It's like the whole thing with they said 8 people died, and there was but they showed people having seizures and all this kind of weird shit. I'm like, something doesn't sound right, man. Like, was there some? The only thing I can gather is people are doing some drugs, But I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. Something is off about the whole thing.
Yeah. But my point was, going back to less dark side, is Cooper, he was on the Muppets, it's like,
oh yeah,
there's a creativity there that kind of transcends the whole whatever that dark side is, but it's like now. And I'm not like I said, I can't say that Travis Scott isn't creative, because he is. And I remember thinking the same thing. I'm like, who the fuck is Travis Scott? Why is his name that? And he's a mumble rapper, and he's got his own McDonald's hamburger, and what is going on here? And that's where he's kind of an enigmatic, kind of like Kanye West. He's
okay.
There's these, there's undeniable artists in any genre. So you may not vibe with the rap, whatever the genre they're in, but it's there's something that draws you to whatever they're doing, and that's kind of how it was. And I've defended Kanye for years, where I was just I mean, he's a lost soul. He's this, he's that. But there's, he'll produce some music that's, it's just got that juice, I mean, certain people just got that juice, and,
Yeah, he's changed, man. Actually, he's cooler now than he used to be. I think he found.
I think he's dead. I think he's dead. I think they killed him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But that's too much. Anyway. But yeah, the Travis Scott. But yeah, Alice Cooper, it was.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on with that Travis Scott thing. I've heard a lot. Some of the, possible theories.
Well, it's being made more public, I think, than ever before. Right? That's what interests me about it. It's becoming water cooler conversation, and these are kind of conversation. Yeah, it's Satan's in the water cooler, and it's it's never been before, I don't think, as far as I can remember. I don't know, but
yeah, it seems like it, man. It makes me wonder what the hell happened there. Some people are saying it was a satanic sacrifice. I've heard some people saying that there was somebody injecting shit into people's necks.
Yeah. No, apparently they were injecting not just fentanyl, okay, but there's a whole other stronger form of fentanyl called carfentanil.
Oh, geez.
They were injecting into, from what I've heard, I don't know. I've honestly tried to look as little as possible. All I had to see was video of Travis Scott standing on stage going, yeah, yeah. While this woman was like carried out of the crowd, like lifeless.
Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty much all I had to see. But there's a form of fentanyl that's like 10 times stronger than fentanyl, apparently. And they were shooting up the security guys with it. So the security guys had to, and this is stuff that's confirmed by like, the Dallas sheriff and shit. Like this isn't just, yeah.
So they were just going up to security people and injecting this shit in their arms?
They were shooting up the security people that probably weren't in on it with carfentanil, which is essentially, I don't know. I mean, it's the strongest form of opiate you can possibly imagine. Yeah, and they had to give them those like inhalers that you give to people that are overdosing on opiates to save their lives. Yeah. Oh, that's
fucked up, man.
Serious shit. Some serious shit, and it. But anyway, so I don't know. It was.
I gotta look into that. I gotta look into that one, man. Shit.
Yeah, this could be the 9/11 in some ways.
Right.
This could be a 9/11 in some ways.
I always like to think, what's going on politically when these things happen? Like, look over this way, but don't pay attention to this. Like what are they trying to do politically right now? They don't want us to pay attention to. That's what I'm always wondering. That's weird. The thing is, I was never into politics, dude. I was never into it.
It's always bullshit. That's what I was gonna say. There's nothing ever going on politically because it's all a fucking smokescreen. It's all the same thing you're talking about.
It's boring as crap. I don't care about it, and I don't want to care about it.
Well, it's intentionally
the only reason why I'm even paying attention now is because it's hitting close to home, where it's like, all right, you guys are fucking with us now, and this is not good. It's like you're making me pay attention to you, and I don't want to pay attention.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They're fucking losers. It's like,
we're bigger stars. We're bigger stars than the Hollywood stars. We're bigger stars than the rock stars. We're the politicians. And they are right now. They are the new rock stars. They are the new movie stars. Nobody cares about movie stars or rock stars anymore. It's like all these politicians are the big. They're getting their fame and fortune now. Like, how ridiculous is that?
Well, it's just ego gone wild, and that's why I think that authoritarianism and black magic is a fool's errand, because it's just ego gone wild. That's all it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, totally. That's all it is. I mean, it's like, it's like, you know what it is? It's like the rock star that gets famous and makes a ton of money.
Yeah.
Just starts, it goes to their head, and they're like, egomaniacs. Same thing happens to the politicians too. They're the big stars now, and it goes to their head. It's just like.
Well, I think they were the stars, but it's like the reunion tour. They had.
It is. Yeah.
Hell freezes over. They had to fucking remind people, like, hey.
Like, when was the last time we had like stars in the political system? I mean, they always try to paint them that way. I mean, we had John F. Kennedy. Obviously, that was the whole thing there. John F. Kennedy was a rock star, sort of, I guess, as a politician.
Yeah.
And that was, then you had, who else? Bill Clinton at one time was.
Yeah, Clinton was
was kind of a rock star back in the day, and well, obviously. Then you got the whole Monica Lewinsky thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's kind of rock star right there. He really wanted to be a rock star, is probably what it was. Played that saxophone, you know.
He played the saxophone. Yeah, it's not that cool.
Yeah. And there was that. Oh, and he smoked pot, you know, or he didn't smoke pot.
He didn't inhale. No.
That's the big. Then he was cool. Like after that, like, oh, this guy's the coolest, you know.
Yeah.
And everyone voted for him. I didn't. No, I didn't vote for him.
That was pre-voting for me. I didn't know.
Yeah, got into much voting. I still don't like to do it. I don't know. Voting, that's a whole other thing.
I can't think if I've ever voted for an official candidate or not. If I always just wrote in the Libertarian candidate, or I just wrote in something.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever really voted for. I think I might have voted for Obama the first time, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I've been primarily in Libertarian votes, you know, and I stopped doing that at one point because I was just like, damn it. I was like, they're not going to win. And I should vote for, you know, now I just, who cares? I'll do it anyways. But I was thinking, okay, what's the lesser of the two evils? I went with that thing, right? And kind of went with that whole thing. And you know, I mean, and to be honest with you, you know, I really didn't know. Yeah, I mean, I was just like, okay, I'm going to go vote. I feel patriotic duty. But, I mean, did I really understand what was going on at all? Fuck no. And I don't think most people do. Most people really don't. You know, I think you really have to dig deep into politics to see what's happening and money and all that shit. It's like, I don't, like, you know, I've been forced to do it now. I understand it now more because I see what's going on in the world. But, you know, by and large, you know, back in the day, I was just like, you know, I mean, like back in the 60s, here's an interesting thing. John F. Kennedy won. And a lot of people, they did like a survey, voted for Kennedy because he was good looking.
Yeah.
And it was mostly female voters, which was interesting. Mm-hmm. So he appealed. This man was good enough to run our country because he was good looking. That's all it took, really. I mean, you know, if you get two guys, they're exactly the same. I don't know if you can get like two Republicans or two Democrats running against each other.
He ran against Nixon the first time, and Nixon was a sweaty mess, and he destroyed him. Yeah. It's
funny. It's like there's that thing. We have the whole thing with the white privilege and all that stuff now, and whatever. I don't care about this shit. How come what's this other one that we never talk about? Hot privilege.
Mm-hmm. Beauty privilege.
There's something going on there. I see it all. I see that more than anything. I've seen that more than racism. I've seen that more than white privilege or anything. I've seen hot privilege more than anything. You know. It's an interesting thing. You know, when you think about that one. You know, it's like Yeah, they say looks don't matter, but you know, we see how that plays out in the real world.
Maybe a little bit.
Kind of weird. It's kind of weird, you know. Yeah, especially imagine if you live in like L.A. or something like that, California. You know, Hollywood and shit. I've heard stories. That's where it really kicks in. You know, it's all about image. You know, which is surprising because I think the whole plastic surgery thing to me, man, is like, I don't get it. It's like, I've seen a lot more people. One woman in particular who I was a fan of, a crush on. Shit, what's her name? I haven't thought about her in so long because of this. Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan, yeah.
Meg Ryan was one of my crushes, dude. I was like, no, actress crushes. You know, who's your actress crush? Meg Ryan was one of mine. And then
Mine was Michelle Pfeiffer, but yeah,
I didn't
she also
see her for years, and she and I saw like she got all this face work done, and it turned out like what? You just ruined like you. In my opinion, like you were beautiful before, like perfect. Like you were like I would love to date someone like her. Like it looks like her, phenomenal. And when she did that, it like ruined it. And I was like, it's not even the same person. It's like you're like you changed it. Why? You didn't even need to. And you know what it was? Probably some fucking Hollywood agent that convinced her. That was just like, well, you're getting older now. You want to get the roles. You probably should get some facial surgery. Yeah. We'll pay for it. We'll do all this. And then they get these fucking plastic surgery. And they change everything that was fine with them. It's like it's kind of like the same thing with a band. You sign to a label. Your band's doing great, all this stuff, and then your label manager goes, yeah, those songs are cool, but we want to appeal to the masses a little more, so why don't we write something a little more poppier, and sell more records, that kind of thing. And then you get Metallica doing the Load album. Cut your hair.
No, Reload.
Not to diss on Metallica because I love them, but
No, Load was good. That's what me and Steve Amish used to say. That was good biker rock. Reload was shitty.
Actually, Load was good, but it wasn't Metallica. That was the thing.
Well, it was biker rock,
Changed. They should have became a new band at that point. Like,
yeah,
I think if they would have said, okay, Metallica is another thing we do.
Well, Load was like the James Hetfield project.
It was kind of more of that.
It was the biker rock.
It was. It doesn't suck. I mean, there's some good songs on there. I mean, I think King Nothing Kicks Ass is great. I love that one.
You're talking about Saint Anger.
Oh, Saint Anger was the worst album ever created in history. Dude, it's terrible. I was listening to that the other day. Actually, I put it on, and I was at the gym, and I'm listening to that record, trying to I put it on again, and I put it on, and I was like cracking up, dude. Like I was listening to his Lars's snare drum, and I'm like, what the fuck was he thinking? Like
it was spiteful. Yeah, I think it was spiteful. They were just fucking with people.
That's what I thought, dude. I really do. I think when that album came out, I was excited. I bought it, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I haven't heard. I'm like, this is gonna probably be pretty good. And I remember putting it on, and I started laughing at myself. I was just like, "Oh, these guys are fucking geniuses." I go, "They got so much money and time. They released a joke album. Like, okay, here's our new record. Everyone's looking for it, and they put it out there." And I was literally expecting, I kid you not, in 2 weeks they're gonna drop it on everybody and say, "Oh no, that was just a joke. Here's the real record." That would have been genius. And I was literally thinking that was gonna happen. I'm like, okay, dude, that was good. Because this album there's no way, this is horrible.
There's one good song on it.
Never came out with anything. I was like, what? You mean this is really the record? This is really the fucking record? Like, what happened? I was so disappointed. It was like the worst thing that could have ever happened to a band. I was like,
although they made the new Spinal Tap out of the documentary.
Oh, the
some kind of monster.
Yeah. Dude, that was disappointing as fuck, dude. I remember I went to the movie totally expecting that to be kick ass. Like I was like, a fucking Metallica movie? Like, hell yeah, this is gonna rock. And I remember just being there, sitting there in the theater, and I was just like, I was all like down. I'm like,
it was the new Spinal Tap. I mean, it was. They didn't.
It was.
Maybe they didn't even know it, but it was. It was Spinal Tap too.
It was, man. It was like the new Spinal Tap, dude. I was like, is this really just like is this whole movie thing and this album just really just a jab at, or it's just like a tongue in cheek, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm thinking like I knew it wasn't because they let it go for too long. It's like all right, if you're really waiting to come up with something great, you better do it soon to redeem yourself. Otherwise, this is not the legacy you want to leave. If something happens to the band, this is it. You're done. Everyone's gonna think you were serious with that when it was really a joke. But it wasn't a joke. They just did it. It was like they thought it was good. I guess I don't know. But James hated it. Yeah, he talks about it. He didn't like it, which I'm surprised. Like why did you even do it?
Yeah,
I know he did. He had to do it. He had to save his marriage, man. He was a dad. He had to get responsible. He had to clean up his act. Happens to the best of them, man. Unfortunately, I really think that's what happened. Wow,
well,
killing, man. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain people I would like to think are like exempt from the whole system, and James Hetfield's one of them. I'm like,
yeah, he has that.
You know what I mean? Who was I talking to? I think I was talking to you. I'm trying to think of the context, but it was like
he is exempt from it.
Sort of exempt from it, Yeah. But he still had to do it. I mean, he still had to do it. Like he's contractually obligated. He had to do it.
Yeah. He holds some power, man. There's that guy's got some, the mighty Hetfield. He's got some he's got that, commanding power. It's pretty wild.
He's got some wings, yeah.
Got some wings. Yeah, he was
another level.
Down another level.
He's at a whole other level.
When Metallica started, we were like, we were doing all these shows back in fucking playing with Venom and Merciful Fate and Celtic Frost and shit. We were on another level back in those days. That's my.
Now, if you listen to the fucking demos, they were terrible. Have you heard that first demo?
Yeah.
It sounded like that band, like The Darkness. It was horrible. The vocal in particular was just pathetic.
I was just thinking about them today. I was listening to them today, and I thought, if they really want to get their mojo back, what they need to do is change the guitar sounds back to what they used to be. Like, they had that tone. It was like, and they don't have that tone anymore. It's like, damn, the guitars are weak now. It's like, give it back that, and it's funny because there's people online on YouTube that'll do it. Like, they'll put Spit Out the Bone, which is like one of the later albums, one of the newer songs, last few years. And they'll make their own version of what if Spit Out the Bone was recorded on Ride the Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll take the tones from Ride the Lightning. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
And they make a mix, and it sounds like...
Just add a shit ton of reverb.
Yeah, it's like, make the album sound like that, And I'm hoping they're getting the cue. Like, dude, just, get those guitars sounding the way they were before, and that'll be a huge game changer. Because I think it's, honestly, I think what's really... The production is fucking them up right now. I think the production has been weak for the Black Album was good.
The Black Album still had some sauce on it, and then
they lost the tone, man. They got into different.
It's like a dry Reuben sandwich.
It's just just doesn't do it, man. And
like a Reuben, Reuben sandwich with no Thousand Island on it, you know?
Yeah. Like a Rick Rubin sandwich?
Like a Rick Rubin sandwich. I don't know. Yeah.
No, it really did though. It didn't sound good, and the first I forgot who. The production of the first album is great. I like that one. The guitars they're very ripping. Yeah. They got a different.
I'm
What the
holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
Where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
You ever look at music that you've written and look back at it and say, "Whoa"?
Yeah.
There it is, right there. That's funny.
Breaking news.
Yeah, it's Ride the Lightning. Yeah, the Ride the Lightning was a great sounding record. The guitars were just fucking perfect. I remember that's what got me to Metallica was the sound of the guitars, production of it had like a very like that chunky like
Yeah.
The palm mute thing was just like so like it was like what the fuck is that, man? It was a perfectly sounding record, man, and I thought Master of Puppets is great too. Still had that tone, and Justice for All. That was a good sounding record too. Except they needed more bass. That was it. That was it. The Black Album.
I like Puppets because I'm like a '90s baby, so I like Puppets better as far as production. Justice
funny.
Justice is fucking trash. Justice is one of the worst mixed albums I've ever heard. I'm sorry. Not that the songs aren't good. There's great songs on that album, but the fucking mixing and the production on that album is just horrific. It's in the sense.
Yeah, they have
Saint Anger is the like goofy snare album, and Justice is just the big dumb kick drum album, like and no bass.
Yeah. It's funny. I actually kind of like the sound of that bass drum on that album. There's like a certain slappiness I like to it. Oh, you know what record which they did? It was I thought sounded really good. Was Garage Days.
Garage Days was cool, yeah.
Yeah, that one. It was a cross between and Justice for All and Master of Puppets. It was kind of like the tone they had on that record was good because it sounded live, and the chunk was perfect, and the bass was everything. It was a great mix. I thought it was very raw, and I thought that was like that album. Like if they would have kept that mix, whatever they had in that album, it'd have been like, oh, that's cool as fuck, man. It was super raw sounding, very underproduced, but still had that chunkiness to it, Yeah, that was a good album.
Maybe there was no Ruben. I don't know.
Jason Newsted. What's that?
Maybe there was no Ruben involved in that because it's a covers album, so they were just allowed to do what they wanted on that one.
It's like Brett Fenn. I think it was just like that was like right when Jason Newsted got in the band, and they're probably just like, okay, let's get into a groove and do a cover record, and just to kind of get in the swing of things. And I think that record is fucking great, dude. Like, even though it's a cover record, I still consider that like a good Metallica record because when Metallica whenever they do covers, they're masters of it at making it their own. They're like, it's like Led Zeppelin kind of, it's like they made the cover their own thing. It doesn't mean it sound like the real, it's became like I've heard Bread Fan the original version by Budgie, and I'm like, I like Metallica's version way better. You know, it's like blows out the water. You know,
Is Budgie the band with the chick singer that like
dude, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I like Budgie. Budgie's got some cool stuff, but Metallica's version of that song is way cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's like shit. You know, I heard the original version. I was like, what? Like, whoa, okay. I'm like, not doing it.
I can't say I've really. I'm gonna have to go back. Yeah, I haven't really listened to Garage Days.
Yeah, Garage Days is great. Like they do like Misfit songs and Killing Joke and
That's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Misfits.
oh yeah, I love the Misfits, man. I was listening to
Misfits with the Doors, like on paper, maybe the coolest band ever. You know what I mean? Like you got like even down to the logo, like to the point where like you've got people that don't even know the band, but the logo was so fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
That people still wear the shirt. Like the vision was so deep. Like I almost I don't know. I guess it's Dan. I guess it was Glenn. You know, like I don't know, but like somebody like it's probably Glenn. Like somebody in that fucking band, and I think it was Glenn. I think Glenn might be one of the great artists of like the 20th century. Like you know what I mean? Like
Good. Killer.
The vision is so fucking deep, and like you listen to the early Misfits stuff, and it's like it's what Queens of the Stone Age thought that they invented with like over compressed guitars and shit, and like a you know a vocal that kind of rides over top of it. It's like it's nothing new, but you know it wasn't. It is new, but. Yeah, I don't know. I think Glenn is on a whole other level.
Yeah, he's a character. Yeah, I mean the Misfits were so multifaceted. I mean, like what they did, I love it.
And just the songwriting, dude. The songwriting was so good.
The production is super lo-fi but kick ass. You know, it's like it's this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you make a guitar like like the black metal guys? They thought that they were so cutting edge the way they recorded guitars. It's like listen to the early Misfits. That y'all weren't inventing anything. They made guitars sound way shittier than you guys did. You know.
Yeah, they got some killer tones.
But it's terrible. I mean, it's like
album too. Weird.
And it's all like super low in the mix. You know, all the guitars and the drums and everything is like super low in the mix. And then you've got Danzig over top of it, like pretty clean. Like you can tell it's like a studio recorded vocal, but you've got this like trash mix underneath it. You know, like when you listen to it on headphones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's wow. There's that's a genius mix on the early Misfits, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love the production on those records, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're all different too. It's like, you know, each album is maybe they recorded them at different studios, but each one of them has their own thing into it. You know, it's like the Led Zeppelin thing. You know, where everything sounds, each song or album sounds different. You know. Where some bands stick to the same sound, and they should. You know, like Metallica should have just stuck with the same sound. AC/DC stuck with the same sound. They found a formula, and it works for them. And it works for them, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, and I think that's cool about certain bands. They find their niche, you know, and they're like, all right, this is what we do. This is who we are. This is what we sound like. And this is what we do. You know, we go for it. And then there's some bands that change. They do they change with the times. They do all that stuff, and you know, whatever. You know, I mean, that can be cool too. You know, I mean, I know very few Genesis maybe. Genesis could kind of do one of these things. Metallica tried to do it, it didn't work.
Which ones? Yeah, which ones changed for the better? That's the question.
No. It's like Cooper tried to go with the times a bit, and not the biggest fan of it. Like I mean, he pulls it off.
It's more forgivable though. Like it's like Feed My Frankenstein is just like
I will say this.
It's still in the vein of Cooper, where it's like that. It's more gonzo, ridiculous, but it's like
it was. I saw it when I saw it live. I got it because I was never a fan of that song. I'm like, I was like, nah, it just doesn't do it. But then when I saw it live, and I pictured in my head, like, okay, I'm going to imagine in my mind this is 1973, and this is the original band, and they're playing this song, and I put my mind in that mindset, and then I saw and heard it. I was like, oh no, this is cool. Like live made it like it came alive live. Like, okay, I get it. So on record it didn't translate so much the first time, but live, I have to listen to it again now after I've seen it live. I may have different thought of it, but
what song? What are you talking about?
Feed My Frankenstein.
Well, that was 80s. That was like 87.
Yeah, that was 87. Yeah, I wasn't a fan and of it, and I was like, But live, I will say this: live was pretty cool.
What do you think? Do you think someone that's like as the level of genius as Alice Cooper can write a lyric like "I'm a hungry man, but I don't want pizza. I'll blow down your house and then I'm gonna eat you." Is that the lyric? In the context of 80s metal, yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, that's good.
In the context of 80s metal, dude, it's still fucking satire. It's like Zappa. It's like,
Yeah.
It's still satire.
It is. And any rapper would want to steal that line. That's got a ring to it. Hey, maybe that new country rapper. What's his name?
It's Travis something.
Scott. I think Travis Scott should become a country singer now. His career is fucked. It's over, man. It's like nobody wants to book him. He's done.
I think he's done, yeah.
It's like, man, I think your calling is just to be a country singer. Put on that cowboy hat, man. Get on your horse. Start singing those country songs, those cowboy country songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy from Stain did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Travis Scott.
I mean, I will say, like, I'll say with Travis Scott.
Hey, maybe he can have a song in that new movie Rust that was being made.
Rust? What?
Rust, yeah. It's a guy that shot the film girl. The actor, what's his name?
Guy that shot the film. What do you mean?
Yeah, it just happened a month ago.
I'm just fixated on what's going on with my neck. Did you see that? Did you see it?
What?
You see that impression in my neck? That right there.
Impression?
Do you see?
Get closer to the camera. I don't know if you can see that.
It like changes. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on with my neck. That right there. You see that? You see how I just moved?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? You see it? Like there's a line there. Yeah, but
shadow.
It's just shadow, but
shadow, yeah. That's the secret to bodybuilding. The secret to all these.
It ain't over. Look, it ain't on my left side. Like it's not on the light side. Like Look at that.
Shadow.
Look at whatever the hell's going on the right side. Look at the left side.
It's just a shadow.
It's just a
What's
shadow.
happening is it's lighting. It's a lighting effect. It's crazy. Seriously, that's the secret. The secret for like the bodybuilders when they're
It's all just like
those photo shoots or when they're on stage. A lot of what you're seeing, I mean, they're in good shape. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but the lighting makes all the difference, like huge difference. So like when they're on stage, those bodybuilders, they're posing and stuff. You know, they got the fucking oiled up, and they're utilizing also the way the lights are angled on them to create the illusion of like they're more, cut than what they really are. And I mean, they're cut. Don't get me wrong, but it accentuates it, and all of a sudden, like, the slight angle and shading will make the definition. Now it's like
it's shading.
The definition. It makes the definition, when you're on stage. Yeah, it does. Though. It's a big secret. Yeah, the lighting.
Something about the shading. Yeah.
All the models know it. All the chicks, they know all about lighting. So when they're always like selfie, oh, it's got to be at this angle. It's about all about angles and lighting. It's like the whole it's all it is. It's like, God, like what the hell? It's like every girl gets to be an instant cover girl model now in today's day and age with a cell phone. It's like just set your pick. Oh, and then you get a good pick. You get a good angle lighting with the shading just right. It's not enough. You gotta like take that and filter it. It's like, come on. Filtered. I'd say what, dude? Filtered pictures on women when I see them are the worst turn off for me.
Oh, they're bad.
I hate the fucking like. As soon as I see that, I'm like, why? It's like worse than plastic. Well, it's worse than plastic surgery, but it's the same kind of vibe, I guess. It's like, why are you putting this false image of who you are on there? It's not even you. It's like it's obvious to you. You can see it. That's like,
this is an interesting point.
Why?
This is wait. This is an interesting point. All right, if we're gonna get all like, if we're gonna get meta here, that's an interesting point because.
I mean, it's not like putting makeup on. Makeup, it's like that's an art. Makeup is an art. I think it's like, all right, that's that's something creative. But when you just take your picture and you just go online and put a filter on it,
yeah. Who are you fooling? But here's the thing.
You're right.
All right. So if you think about like, where the VR world could go, in terms of avatars, maybe, that's an early, harbinger of avatars in the sense that, like often the people that I met that are like very active in social media are often very like lackluster in person, and I guess maybe that's something to that. It's like on a dating app where you like, a girl's really good at taking pictures at a certain angle and you think she looks a certain way. And also that's playing off of our expectations, but.
Right. They think, oh, this is, maybe he'll like this, or like this guys like this. And it's like, no, they don't. I don't.
Well,
maybe some guys do. I don't know.
That's what caught your eye, and that's what is going to catch anyone's eye. I mean, like, there's a certain there's a certain image that's like we all have our own avatar, like that. I do find that interesting. Like, what do I look like to other people? What do I look like to myself? I think that's kind of that's really the name of the whole game is like, It's the shading, you know.
Shading, yeah. I mean, there's always, there's filters, there's definitely some filters. I try to be as transparent as possible anymore. For the most part, I just like, what you see is what you get. For the most part, it's who I am. There's really not much more, and there's not much less. It's just like if I was going to date a girl, this is who I am. And I'm never going to change either. It's like, I have no intent to change. Once you kind of find who you are, there's no reason to change. It's like you found your path. It's like, now follow that path. I don't think we should always be like trying to find who we are. It's like, I think it's like we're supposed to try to find who we are, or we find it's shown to us, and then once it's there, you're like, okay, now go. Go.
For me, it's always been like I'm always just trying to convey what I am, and it gets lost in translation. Like
lost. Yeah.
I've always kind of known what I am, but I've gone through varying degrees of agony / amusement at the views that others have taken at what I am. And that's where it's like, I've never really been lost. I don't know about you, but I've never really felt lost. I've felt in distress at times in my life, but I've never really felt lost. Like, I always knew who I was, and I knew what situation I was in, and it varies in degrees of politeness and deadliness, but I've always known where I was and who I was.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like I need to find myself. It's like, bitch, I know who I am. I know what I am. And it's like, I'm often trying to convey, and that's what I guess you could say that's what art is. It's trying to express, it's a cliche, but it's like you're trying to express what you are to those around you. But it's usually in like everyday reality. It's just constant misrepresentation or constant, that's where my anger comes from, is like, but that's where humor comes from too, is where it reaches a point where you just like, it's so far off from what you are to what they're interpreting you as. That's what humor is. You just got, it's the best.
I love it. Buddy, like, my two things that I really enjoy listening to are music and comedy.
Yeah.
And comedy is just like, and then when you can put the two together, then you get Spinal Tap and Tenacious D. Genius in that, right? Which I also think Candlemass is a bit on that level too. Candlemass, I think, there's a tongue-in-cheekness about their band, but
in the videos for sure. Yeah, the videos for sure.
Yeah.
Even though they invented doom metal, like with that first album, like they invented. I mean,
great record.
You could say that Black Sabbath did, but like, yeah. But even like the name of the album is like
Epicus Doomicus or something like that.
Epicus Doomicus. I mean, it's fucking,
What year was that? 83?
82.
Is it? Yeah, it was like, I'm surprised I never heard that back in the day, man. Like back in.
Oh,
in that whole.
That one's a bad motherfucker. Yeah.
Somehow that didn't get circulated around to where I was, and it's kind of a drag, But they are from. Where are they from?
Sweden, I think.
They're from Sweden.
I think they're Swedish. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's why we didn't hear. Oh, well, that makes sense because if it was an import band, imports were harder to get back in those days.
Yeah.
Like we found imports, and it was like, holy shit, Maybe they had, things with import issues, and they didn't make a bunch of records. I don't know. Well, shit, I can get that. It's like being in a band. I don't have shit for records. We don't have merchandise. We don't have, we don't have actual physical records of our records. No physical record of the record. So, that's kind of a, I mean, who knows what reason why they didn't make it in the States back in that, like the early 80s. Or they did in different parts of the country and never realized it. I
mean, there's a Cooper element. There is a humor to it.
They got that. Yeah. Yep. Oh, and Jack Black probably loves these guys.
If you watch the Bewitched video,
yeah,
I mean,
that's so Jack Black, dude.
He got a lot.
I want to get with Jack Black one time. We were talking, and I want to ask him about that. There's a few bands I want to ask him about: Uriah Heep, Dio. But I want to ask him about this one. Like, all right, what about Candlemass? Yeah, what about Candlemass?
What about Candlemass, Jack?
So, Jack Black, are you a fan of Candlemass?
He'd be like, I'm a fan of that ass.
That is epic. That is the video. I discovered him by accident. Nikki and I were hanging out one night, and we were watching videos, the worst metal videos ever, or something like that.
Yeah.
And somebody had put this in the mix of that, and we put it on. And I remember thinking, like, we were just like, what is this? And I was like, I kind of like it, though. It's like, it's super tongue-in-cheek and cheesy, but cool as fuck, too, at the same time. And, I was just like, after I saw this video, it was like, oh, man, this band's good. And music,
like, how do you, okay, that's a good question right there. Like, how can you be a part of a genre or like the start of a genre? Well, okay. I mean, like goth music too was like, Bauhaus was created as a joke. Like, Bela Lugosi's Dead. Listen to that song. Like, it's kind of like the beginnings of a genre are tongue in cheek. I got to pee, but go off on that.
Hello. You are on the Drunken Birdwatcher show. And Spurzo's Lair. Lair. I need to up my game and actually talk through a microphone that has a delay pedal on it. Get some fog going in this room, that kind of thing. Make it authentic. Maybe walk around with a cape on. Maybe 2 capes. Depends. On that note, speaking of notes, the music in the background is by a band called Standing Sunshine. The band is called Creepy John Thomas. They're from 1970. Here, take a look. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. Or maybe you can. For all I know, you could be looking through a microscope right now, or a telescope, for that matter. Now, here's the question. Can we look through a microscope and a telescope at the same time? It's a good one to ponder. What would happen to it?
Let me answer that. Yes. And yes.
A microscope and a telescope at the same time. I'd be lucky to have either one. I've never owned. I take that back. I've owned a microscope. I've never owned a telescope. I've never actually owned a telescope. Always wanted to. Telescope.
Because you're smart. No, you're smart.
I want to get a telescope again. Well, not again. I mean, I had a cheap one. I had like one that was like, it probably came in a cereal box or something, or a Cracker Jack box.
Yeah, it's kind of like if I want to remember like the McDonald's, play pit,
Yeah. I actually never did the play pit. I was too germophobic to do it.
I was because that shit was disgusting. It smelled like piss.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I remember this is an important topic here. When you stay at someone's house, if you're at a guest house or you're with family, can you sleep in someone else's bed?
Oh yeah. Yeah, not a problem.
I can't.
I
can't do it. I can't sleep in someone else's bed. I'll sleep in my clothes on top of the blanket, and usually this is where I'm freaky. Like this is my one thing that I'm germophobic about or whatever is bedding. I can't sleep in someone else's bed.
Oh. Yeah, I can't say I ever do that.
Like if you're at say you're at a cabin or you're at a friend's house or something, they say, just sleep in, we got the guest bed. Just go ahead and just tuck right into the bed there, and it's like.
Oh yeah, I did.
You get down in the sheets. Yeah.
Yeah, last summer when I was at up north, and I wasn't like I don't like many blankets. I like one. I like the top fuzzy sheet. That's all I like. So I think that's all it was. There was like more blankets. They overkill blankets. My grandma used to make my bed when I was a kid, and it was like 50,000 blankets, and I'm like,
yeah,
I only need one. Just give me one. As long as it's soft and fuzzy, I'm good. But I never got all these what's the point of it? I don't get it. Just I just don't.
I think there's a lot to that. We don't have to expound on it, but it has to do with elder women and boys.
It's interesting.
And there's layers of protection / overprotection.
Right, like the Pink Floyd, yeah. Like the Pink Floyd song on the wall.
Probably my favorite lyric of all time. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Mother? That's the song. Mother. The song is called Mother, right?
It has something to do with Mother. Yeah.
Mother. Yeah. That song is. Yeah, that's a great. Pretty much anything Pink Floyd has done has been outstandingly good. Outstanding.
Except
Like
for
the lyrics.
the endless river.
Oh yeah, I don't know much about. I never think I heard that one. Like early Floyd, like probably pre. Well, what was the last song they did with Roger Waters? Was it after?
Well, he's still doing Floyd stuff. He's holding the candle.
But with him and
Gilmore.
Gilmore. Yeah, what was the last record they all did together?
The endless river. That was That was them. That was them.
They all did that one together? Okay, I don't think I heard it. Huh.
It was like it sounded like demos. It just sounded like demo. I don't know why they released it. I guess maybe they had to.
Then they had The Wall, and then after The Wall they had the Final Cut I heard was not very good. I don't know much about it, but I heard that was pretty lackluster. Like
Wasn't drawn to it.
Yeah. I think that might have been the last record they did all together.
It's like listening to later like Motorhead albums or something. It's like there's people that will listen to everything in the catalog of a certain band because I guess because they love the band, but they also feel obligated, I think. But it's like I've never really held allegiance to. Right. I mean, if I had to say, like, all right, who's the best band? Yeah, it's probably Pink Floyd. But do I hold allegiance to them to the point where I'm going to like sit there and listen to Endless River 10 times over just to find what they may have meant by, this demo? No, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not gonna fucking scourge through, the Beatles, or the Beach Boys or whatever. People are like, oh, this unreleased, studio tracks were released. We got 56 studio tracks of, the Beach Boys. It's like, great. Like I could sift through someone's shit, if I really wanted to, but
Prince,
yeah.
I mean,
well, him, I might actually be interested in his vault because, yeah.
Have they been releasing stuff? Because they said that I haven't been paying attention, to be honest with you, which is, I don't know why. But I'm curious. I mean, since he's passed, have they released stuff that's never been released? I don't know. I think they might have, but yeah, because it's not like you see it advertised. It's not like the new Prince is coming out. Like maybe they're just putting it out there and not even saying anything. Just like, oh, here it is. Because there's so much of it. I don't know.
Here's an interesting question. All right, so there's two people recently. There's three people.
Mm-hmm.
There's three people whose passing I actually felt. It was Lemmy, Prince, and Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
Now, Chris Cornell really hit me hard. I don't know why, but when he was murdered, when he passed away,
yeah,
I really felt that one a lot, and I felt Prince too. I did. I remember feeling Prince too. Like there was
those two.
Those two. Lemmy.
Those two, yeah, Lemmy was like, man, you made it that long,
right?
Like holy shit! Like much respect. Like you set the bar, man. And for being able to do what you did. And there's obviously there's a lot of rockers now that are about his age now, and are still going. So that's he kind of paved the way, and so that's good. But Prince was unexpected, and Cornell was unexpected. That was one of those something's like that was the universe. Something happened. There was like a shift in the universe happened when that happened. It was like,
There was a shift in the universe.
the world's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been. And the funny thing is, it really did. It changed. Something happened after that.
Yeah.
And that was two other the heavy ones. Eddie Van Halen. That one sucks, but it didn't.
I didn't feel anything. I love Eddie, but I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, that one didn't surprise me, but what was great about Eddie is he redeemed himself so much over the years, in a sense of just as a cool guy and a guitar player and whatnot. And I tell you what, that last Van Halen record they did with David Lee Roth, man, that's some killer tracks on there, dude. Like, there's some ones I think it's one of them that stands out. There's like 3 that are really killer on there. Outer Space is killer, man. Yeah, that's some rocks, dude. I was like, fuck, man, this has that old Van Halen. Like, they got their mojo back. It was like, okay, you guys sound like Van Halen, from back in the day. And especially Eddie. Eddie was just like, dude, holy fuck, man. Did you get your Pick of Destiny back?
Yeah.
Because everything was there. The guitar tone, the way he played, it was on, man. And I was looking forward to a new Van Halen record, man. I'm like, all right, they've redeemed themselves. They're sounding killer, and they were working on a new record, and then Eddie passed. So I'm not sure how much got recorded, but man, I hope if there's something there, I hope it's released. That one sucked for me. Neil Peart sucked.
Neil Peart sucked.
That was pretty unexpected.
I felt Neil Peart. Yeah.
That was out of nowhere. Like, what the fuck?
That was out of nowhere.
He was a little older, but still, it's like, damn. But no, I'd say Prince and Cornell. Prince and Cornell were the big ones. Yeah, they were the ones that kind of
Cornell in particular for me. I was like, I almost lost my job actually, and I worked with my dad, but I was just like, I was really fucked up when I heard that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a huge loss, man. Yeah. One of the greatest rock singers of all time, man. Cool dude too, man. Like, you never heard any bad stories about Cornell. He just had his reputation was cool. Like, he was like one of those guys that everyone loved. It was like, I never heard anybody talk bad about him or like, oh, that guy's an asshole, right? It's like everyone's like, man, that guy was cool, down to earth, and really cool dude. It's like, man, that would suck. Yeah. Yeah.
It's getting me sad now talking about it. I don't even want to go there, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But there's certain artists Prince has made me cry,
Oh yeah. Purple Rain, man, that was the one that did it for me.
Purple fucking Rain, dude.
One of the greatest songs of all time, hands down. In my book, great songs. Purple Rain is there. It is there.
Chills thinking about it. It's a heavy one.
He grabbed something out of the stars for that one. That was like, yep, he did it, man. Like, he could have just wrote that song, the only song he ever wrote.
He could have just wrote that song. It was a one-hit wonder. Yeah.
One-hit wonder, Purple Rain. That'd be it. Yeah. And the crazy thing about Prince is he wrote so many good songs, wrote so many good songs for other people too, which is amazing. You know, the guy was like,
He
won't
made
ever-
Sinead O'Connor. Sinead O'Connor is nothing without nothing compares to you. He wrote that song.
Oh, right. Yeah, he did. He worked with so many. I had no idea how the people he worked with. I was like, oh my God, like this guy was like constantly just writing music. Like, that's all he must have did. You know, it's like, it's that's the thing about Prince is there will never be another Prince. Like he sang, he danced, you know, he wrote music,
Play guitar
play guitar, you know, I mean, play the piano. It's like the guy was a prodigy genius, like just like Beethoven, you know, all these, one of the greats, like Prince is there without a doubt. It will be forever, you know, which is, you know, very super rare. Those are rare.
Well, Prince is a true one of a kind. I mean,
Oh yeah, never, you know.
it's like if Sid Barrett had all his faculties and was able to, you know, traverse the 80s. It's like that. You got Prince, you know, like
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. The face mask. Remember in Purple Rain where he had his room and he had all those like faces and dolls and everything in his room. And, that was I could identify with that room. I was like, oh man, that's that mojo. Okay, you know.
the Ancient Gallery.
Ancient Gallery, yeah. The Ancient Gallery, yeah. Yeah, he was one of a kind, man. Damn. Yeah, but if it wasn't for Jimi Hendrix, then there'd be no Prince. So, the thing about Jimi Hendrix was, you know, his influence. And we go back further. If it wasn't for Buddy Guy, there'd be no Prince. Buddy Guy's still alive, dude. Still playing. It's fucking incredible. The guy's like in his 80s, dude. Like 80s, close to 90. And he still plays shows, man. And he's the one that influenced Jimi Hendrix to play the way Jimmy plays. He saw Jimi Hendrix saw Buddy Guy play and was blown away. And that's where Jimmy got his distorted rock sound, like how he got that, like really just, you know. Yeah, I don't know if you ever listen to much Buddy Guy.
Well, I know he was kind of the first of the electric blues.
Yeah. He was the one that influenced Hendrix. And when you watch Buddy Guy, you can see it and hear it. It's kind of like Prince and Hendrix. Like, okay, but you know, Jimmy took it to a whole different level, as Prince did as well. But it's interesting to see, like, oh wow, Buddy. Okay, I can hear it. I can, you know, it's cool. I saw Buddy Guy live twice. I saw Buddy Guy twice, and I was blown away. First time I didn't know who he was. Scott went with Scott. He's like, oh yeah, Buddy Guy's playing. Let's go check him out. He's really good. We're like, all right. And I looked and I was like, he was like, at the time, he was probably like in his, I don't know, late 60s, early 70s maybe. And he's up there playing, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy rocks, you know, he's fucking hilarious. And I'm like, who is this guy? You know, and I started looking into him, and I was like, oh shit.
It's Buddy Guy.
Back at, like, the Monterey Pop Festival and all that shit, and I think that's where he played. One of the festivals back in the 60s, and I ended up watching his like early 1960 something live show at some festival, and it was just like, whoa, I'm like, holy shit, man, this is raw as fuck, man. He's actually more raw than Hendrix, he's kind of more punk rock than Hendrix, which is interesting the way he plays. It's a little more chaotic. You know, it's like it's kind of got that Timmy vibe, where it's a little more like, you know, like yeah, I would say
More so
like
than Hendrix.
Timmy Valger's closer to Buddy Guy than he is to Jimi Hendrix, but he's got the Jimi Hendrix attitude.
Huh. I don't know. Then I don't know Buddy Guy because I always found him boring. So I don't know.
Oh, check out some live stuff, man. Like in the '60s, you know, go with the '60s, like the early shit. It's raw, dude. And he still plays like that today. But if you really want to get like the raw, you know, birthing of it all, yeah, Buddy Guy, man. Like 1960 something. Just type in live 1960, 60s, whatever.
Mm.
Yeah, there's some good shit on there. Actually, I'm gonna do it right now.
Oh, I can do it out here.
Oh, you gotta do it there. Yeah, they think in the 60s. What's that?
65. You see it?
65. I don't know if I've seen that one or not. Maybe even later, maybe like 68, 69.
69.
Yeah, probably when he starts smoking weed. Guessing. Wow, he went electric back then?
See, he reminds me of another guy named Buddy Holly.
Go to
Buddy Boring. That's good. It's rock. You know, it's like wild rock shit. You can't say that it's like wilder.
I think it's the one in like, it's like, he's at a festival. It's an outdoor festival.
Hendrix was fucking interdimensional. Like you can't say that. I mean, like I'm not saying that Buddy Guy didn't add to this, but I don't know. I never felt Buddy Guy. You know what I mean?
It's the one at the festival is the good one. That one's like, you know, the outdoor festival back in the '60s. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it's beyond this. This is like
Yeah.
Like,
That raw shit.
The way you do the thing, the way you kiss me too, the way you do the thing, the way you kiss me too, you know that alright, you know you're honest. Oh, the way you do the thing.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I see the Jimi Hendrix connection. Yeah. Oh, the tone too. Holy shit! He's got the chorus on. He's got the fucking chorus on.
Come here,
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
His guitar soloing is really good.
I've got a brand new life.
You can see that Jimmy modeled the guitar tone after him. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Wait. Who's that? Scott Lyons?
Elvis Presley.
Who's that? Roy Orbison?
Elvis. This is Elvis when he played that show, TV show. Awesome TV show in the 70s. He did this performance, and this is actually modeled after that performance. This is what he was wearing, the guitar, everything.
Yeah.
That was an epic performance. I saw it live when I was a kid. It was on channel whatever it was, and we're walking into the room, and it was like Elvis live in the studio, like, you know, it was like unplugged. It was like Elvis unplugged, kind of, but he wasn't unplugged, you know. But the setting was like that. It was good. It was great. It was like epic Elvis performance, one of the best ever. If you ever get a chance, check that out on YouTube, man. Put that one on. I don't have the capabilities to play a video or nothing, do I? Through here.
I got to give you like there's a host. I can make you a host and then you can play. We'll do a whole other podcast because I got to fucking check out real soon. But
yeah. You're gonna edit this one together. This is, you know what this is like? This is like a jam. This is like a total improv.
This is a fucking jam.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that like there's really great moments.
Cut some clips out of it. You know, like shorts.
No, I thought it was like it's like a whole other podcast, like the Night Watchers or some shit. Like this is like a whole other thing.
I like that. Night Watchers. The Night Watchmen. The Night Watchmen. That's cool. Yeah, because it's funny because I watch these podcasts and sometimes I go on there and I'm like, oh, they're like an hour and a half long, and most people, they have the full one you can watch, but a lot of times I have like clips, like, okay, here's the clips of it, the highlights, different parts within it. And I think that's pretty interesting. I like that, where it's like, okay, like I think Steven Crowder has it.
You get into someone's like world, like you get obsessed with whoever, like George Perez stories. It's like one of the lesser known ones, but it's like this dude George Perez, like I've been obsessed with his whole universe for the last year. I'm just like, I can't get enough George Perez. I don't know why. But like you get into like Joey Diaz, like,
yeah.
But there's like certain, I don't know, like certain, the podcast language is a whole other, it's a whole other language, and it's like,
it's different. It's like, it is a little different.
It's a different art form altogether. It's like, it's not an interview. It's like you try to explain it to your dad or something. It's like, what is a podcast? It's like, I can't really, it's like an interview. It's like, it's like a documentary. It's like, candid storytelling. It's like, I don't know. I don't know exactly what a podcast is, but it's,
I like the idea of it. Yeah. I love Rogan's thing. Yeah, get stoned, have a few drinks, and talk. It's like, all right, let's just go off on things and see what happens. It's like that to me. That's like interesting as fuck. It's like, all right, that's cool. Where are they going to land upon? Where are they going to go into?
You know who was doing it? Who was doing it before Rogan?
Who's that?
Bill Burr.
Oh, Bill Burr.
But he was always he didn't bring guests on. He was like the lone, But he used to do it on his cell phone. He would just talk shit about people in the airport, or when he was like traveling around doing different comedy shows and stuff. Like Bill Burr is actually pre Joe Rogan OG podcaster.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, is he somebody that you're going to want to listen to all the time? Probably not, but
Yeah.
Bill Burr is one of those guys, though. Bill Burr is like in the same vein, as like a Danzig or something, or I'm like, you're flying just under the radar, but like you're like a true fucking diamond. Like you're like a real, like you, whatever you got, it's like it's right. Bill Burr is one of those guys. It's like he's just, whatever he's got, it's just like it's on the money. And like Rogan gets the flowers. Rogan gets the credit, but
Wow. It's cool. What time is it in Florida?
It's 5:30.
I
gotta go to bed.
Oh my god. What time did you get up?
I got to be up in about 3 hours. I can do it.
Shit.
It's fine. I'm fucking 37 years old. I don't need that much sleep.
Yeah.
There's power in that. That's what acid made me realize, was that they say the evil never sleeps, right? Well, the closer you can get to that, the better. Because, the more reliance you have on unconsciousness, the weaker you are, or the more helpless you are. Like look at a baby. Baby needs the most sleep. A toddler needs more. A little less sleep. Adolescent. The older you get, in Earth years, the less sleep you need. Right. It biologically makes sense too, but there's something to that in terms of your perception.
Time.
Yeah, there's something to that in terms of your perception. Like what can you handle? What can you handle? That's what acid made me realize. Like you're afraid of acid, but I don't think you're anywhere outside of the realm of that sort of realization. Like think about that. Think about life without sleep. That's what acid is. That's acid. Okay. Now it's not scary. It's not scary. It's just, it's a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'd be like if you just didn't have the physical restrictions of having to sleep.
Ultimately, it's no time.
I think that's where we're supposed to be, like at some point. Like the next realm, we won't need to sleep. I think there'd be no reason to sleep.
Well, those realms are where we go when we sleep.
Yeah, that's what I think. I believe that.
Because I realized it in your living room, dude. I was listening to that slowed down version of a No Doubt song,
mm-hmm.
and it was the sixth dimension, because I realized that when you go higher up in dimensions, time slows until it eventually stops. And that's what the times when you have these sort of like when you're on, where you're tripping, it's you're living in an absence of time, and you're in an immediate conversation with the natural world, but it's not that profound. It's not anything that's like, oh, I've fucking figured it out. It's like, it's just time slows. It's like, that's where it was Don't Speak by No Doubt. And it was slowed down a certain, percentage. It is scientific. You can look at it as scientific. If you slow down a pop song 6 times, it becomes the 6th dimension, because you slowed time down that many times. And that's, like that song on YouTube, you can look it up and that will show you what the 6th dimension is like, because it's time slowed down. And then eventually, that's why like retardation and genius are so similar, because, it's about time.
Seems that way.
It eventually just stops. That's autism. Like autism is perception outside of time.
Yeah.
It's a calculation.
I mean, how do we know if those, some students are considered like where they have the autism, right?
Yeah.
And there's a sign that says, something about like, we just look at things differently or something like that. And I'm like, that's interesting.
But it's a different sense of time. Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why people on the autism spectrum can make calculations that are unimaginable to those that are slaves to 3 dimensions. Whereas like it's just child's play. It's just different. It's just different. It's different understandings of time.
It's like Down syndrome people. Oh, that's weird. That's fucking weird. Right when I said that, I looked. The next song that started was called "Down in the Bottom."
Yeah.
From 1970 by Creepy John Thomas.
That's why weird. I say that I've never really met anybody that I considered stupid. Like there's a lot of people that
it's like
there's a lot of people that try to say that like
if the world,
intelligence is some sort of.
If we discovered a planet, right, or an island on Earth, and it was an island of people with supposed Down syndrome, right? How peaceful!
It'd be a really fucking happy island. It'd be cool, It would
be like, it's like, wow, who are these really interesting, cool people we just met?
Right. Now, if you imagine, if you imagine an island that's inhabited by hyper intelligent human beings on this realm right now, that's where you find the most heinous acts being committed. So, yes, what is value?
All right. Well, granted, we have some. There are people with disabilities, that's for sure. Actually, I kind of came across that the other day at work where I work.
Are they disabilities? I mean, why do we? Well, you asked me one time. You said, "Why do we do what we do? Why do we smoke weed? Why do we drink? Why do you think we do that?"
We disable our minds for a bit.
It's to retard the mind.
We disable it from our constructs of what we've been taught and what we're told to feel like. It's like, now you can kind of.
No, it's to retard the mind. It's to slow it down. Because a fast mind is able in the material world, and it's able to get 1 over, 2 over, 5 over on all these other things. Oh wow, I'm raping children. I'm so fucking great. I'm so powerful. That's the ego and the mind gone wild in the material world, and that's what they think is power. But the retardation of the mind is actually ascension. What they think is ascension is actually descension.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we do it.
We just had. Yeah. Interesting.
What do you got there? What is that?
Song. It's called Down in the Bottom. The band is called Creepy John Thomas. From 1970.
That's awesome.
It's totally just drenched in fucking weed.
We're gonna bust it.
It's like
Creepy
70s weed smoke.
We're going
Creepy John. They got some good shit, man. Creepy John Thomas. That's the name of the band. I heard a couple songs by them tonight, and I was just like, I kept looking over, like, who is this? Like, oh, that's that Creepy John.
Make delivery on
these guys.
Waves right to your door.
I gotta switch over my
new customers get a sausage McMuffin with egg for
YouTube
breakfast,
account
or 10-piece chicken McNuggets in the app.
Yeah, what a terrible commercial.
That's really bad.
Oh, Creepy John Thomas.
You hear it?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, where does this come from? You kidding me? First comment, sounds really ahead of its time.
Down in the bottom,
Yeah.
children crying for the sun. Down in the bottom, makes you wonder why when you see the passers-by. Logic's only something that we only made up. Down in the bottom, in the bottom, yeah, yeah. Ashes and the fathers resurrected, re-elected, trying to give you what they never had to begin with. In the bottom, hey, now, in the bottom, down in the bottom. Oh, no. while smashing.
That's pretty good, but
Death is desire under moment's silence. With the world in chains. Down in the bottom.
I want to watch this shit.
Oh yeah.
The horseman held the and when the land opened the second seal, I saw the second horse. The horseman held the sword. The leading horse is white, the second horse is red, the third one is black, the last one is green. The leading horse is white,
I still think
the second horse
that's the
is
best
red,
recorded.
the third one is black, the last one is green.
That's the best recorded drums I've ever heard.
Oh yeah.
And when the land opened the front seal, I saw the horse.
This is like low key the coolest song ever.
Horseman had bands.
Like musical genius, you know.
This is beyond.
He did that. I love it. I love the vocals.
I mean, just think about that. All right. You want to get all fucking namby-pamby about it. The leading horse is white. The second horse is red. The third one is black. The last one's green. Think about that in terms of generational things.
Oh, that's interesting. Green. What's green?
The last one's green.
That's interesting. Reptilian?
Yeah. The leading horse is white. The second one is red. The third one's black. The last one's green. It's not that cryptic.
Yeah.
It's a layout. That's what visionaries do. They may not even realize what they're doing. But that singer is a visionary, and he's seeing that. He's seeing something, and he's conveying it. You know what I mean? But it's a map. It's a map. It's like it's like your hand is the map of your life. It's like the same thing. He's explaining the generations and the races. He's explaining the races, you know. It's actually very scientific.
He quoted that from the book of He quoted that from the book
But it also has the best like recorded drum sound I think ever.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know.
And that'll change my life right there. Man.
How did they record that fucking drum sound? Like just that alone. Like I just wanna like that deserves an entire pod. Like if Rick Beato was to break down like how the fuck did they get that drum tone on that song?
That is a great.
Dude, it's the best recorded drums of all time.
Yeah, I love it.
Like fucking John Bonham ain't got shit on that. That recording of those drums is the best I've ever heard. I don't know if it's the best of all time, but I'm a drummer and like I have a little bit of say in this. That's the craziest drum recording I've ever heard. And I know how hard it is to record drums.
Yeah.
It's just, that's out of control. Out of fucking control. Yeah. That recording of those drums. And I mean, that song in general is just one of the best, obviously, ever. But I mean, like, Moon, okay.
The phone's like, I'm getting a lot of static.
Huh?
I'm getting a lot of static and lag.
We're communicating too much.
It's like slowing down, like not it's breathing up and shit. Like everything I'm saying is saying like seconds later.
But yeah, I don't know who that singer was. The singer is I don't know his name, but yeah, he's.
Oh yeah, he's I forget his dude's name.
Demi Roussos.
Something, yeah. Something with a Y in it. So Y in there somewhere.
Demi
Greek.
Demi Roussos.
Yeah, something like that. Some Greek name.
Some fucking vision.
He did Chariots of, he wrote Chariots of Fire.
You know what I like, and it's kind of what I've learned to appreciate with like working in advertisement, is that things are scientific. Things are actually very simple. You know, as much as I love mysticism is actually misunderstanding and confusion. There are very simple plans, and there's very simple explanations of all the things that we find mysterious, and that's what kills the mystery. But I've also just learned to appreciate the the architecture of these things, you know. Not even architecture. Architecture is too grand a word. It's really just very simple shit. The leading horse is white, the second horse is red, the third one's black, and the last one's green. It sounds mystical when you don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But it's like, if you were to say, like, my first year was year 1, my second year was grade 2, my third year was grade 3, and my last year was grade 4. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Do I like that? I don't necessarily like that because I enjoy mystery, you know. But mystery is just
Yeah.
mystery is just not knowing. That's all that is. They're you know, that cracks the mystery. You know, when you know, there's no mystery.
Yeah.
But it also kind of sucks because it's like, well, okay, then it's like in Twin Peaks when you find out that the dad was the one who killed Laura Palmer, you know. But there's also the caveat of the fact that he was possessed when he killed Laura Palmer. And that's why, yeah, the demonic.
I think this. I'm getting a really bad reception, man.
It's getting too real. They got to stop it. So,
Like every time I talk, or like everything is happening like 3-4 seconds later. Like it's all freezing up on me and shit.
well,
I don't know. What's up? Should we just call it? What time is it? 6?
we should call it. Yeah, I got about 2.5 hours.
All right, man. Yeah, okay. That's probably good because I'm getting a lot of glitches on the side.
All right, man.
All right.
We'll call it.
Night Watchman. Love you, brother.
Love you, buddy.